If you're a business owner, you don't need us to tell you running a business is tough. Don't let QuickBooks and spreadsheets slow you down anymore. Now is the time to upgrade to NetSuite by Oracle, the world's #1 cloud business system. NetSuite gives you the visibility and control over your financials, HR, inventory, e-commerce, and more. Join the over 21,000 companies using NetSuite right now. Schedule your free product tour right now at netsuite.com/C-suite. netsuite.com/C-suite.
Welcome to the Superhero Homies podcast. My name is Quentin, and as always, I'm here with the homie Kevin.
Good evening, ladies and gents. How are you doing today?
Talking to me?
I'm talking to everybody.
Oh.
No, I'm not talking to you.
Okay.
Wait for them to respond.
All right. It's going to be a long podcast.
And how are you doing today, buddy? How are you?
I am doing, I'm doing, man. I'm doing.
Yeah. Amen.
How about yourself?
Doing good. I already told you, I registered for classes. Yeah, so I'm excited for that. Until I start them, of course. But, yeah. That's about it, man.
Yep, it's about normal.
Yeah, life.
Life and all that bullshit, people.
Amen.
You know how it goes.
But it's another Sunday, and we all know what that means. That means everyone else is going to have a Monday to listen to us.
Essentially, you know, except for like those dedicated few who just so happen to be awake when it's posted. And have the dedication to click and listen.
Which astounds me, because believe it or not, people, there are those who do that. And to you guys who do that, thank you. Yeah. Awesome.
You're the real MVPs.
You are. You know who you are.
Oh, yeah. So tonight, guys, we're covering Jessica Jones Season 2, Part 2. We'll be covering episodes 7 through 13.
So if you had to abbreviate tonight's episode, it would be JJ22.
That is true.
Yep.
Yep.
You're welcome.
JJ squared.
Yeah? Yeah. I'd let it fly. That's cool. We're not mathing.
Yeah, no, we're not. We're not mathematicians. Not at all. But I suppose we'll go ahead and get into some comic news.
Yeah, what's going on in the world outside of our walls?
Yeah, so as far as comic news goes for this week, it seems to be some good and then some not so good stuff this week. So let's just get into it.
Let's bounce back and forth. Yeah.
So the first thing that I say here that is not such a good thing. And it's really just me being petty.
Okay. Okay.
Actor Daniel Bruhl says there is a possibility that Zemo will return.
Son of a dick. Oh, no, actually, I did see something about that. Yeah. Where are the details? Yeah. Like, what's the return about? Potential return about?
Well, it was just really the actor Daniel Bruhl himself. He was being interviewed.
Okay.
And he was talking about, or he was asked by Screen Rant, that's a company, of course, and they're asking him about whether or not there's a possibility or plans for Zemo to return to the MCU. And his exact words were, "Well, I hope so. I always say they didn't kill me, which is always a good sign."
Okay.
As you can imagine, it's extremely secretive. Even if I would know something, I would probably not be allowed to tell you. And so they also alluded that he didn't really want to say anything more than that.
Right.
I mean, so there are probably there could be talks or possibility of him coming back. I mean,
that was well said on Daniel's part.
It was.
Yeah. That was a very political statement.
Yeah. I kind of, in a way, I kind of do hope that he does make a return just so he can kind of redeem that character.
Yeah, because he's a good actor.
He is.
Yeah.
No, he's a real good actor. But yeah, so we'll see what happens, you know. Who knows? Could come back, you know. And then if he comes back, maybe he'll be, because shit, I mean, it'd be after, you know, phase 3 is well over and done with.
Maybe he can actually come back as a potentially more Zemo like Zemo.
That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Except, you know, it wouldn't
give him the augmentations he needs.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know how, but do it.
It probably wouldn't be Steve Rogers that he's going up against. Probably be, you know, Bucky as Captain America, or maybe Falcon as Captain America.
Yeah. which I really hope we get some cool time with that.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Oh, yeah.
We'll see.
Let's
What else
see.
is good?
Next up, and this one right here is truly sad. Breaks my heart.
We're just getting all the negative out.
Yeah, we are.
Okay.
Justice League is now the lowest grossing movie in the DCEU.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Does that include any of them? Like even Green Lantern?
No. So the DCEU doesn't
okay.
encompass anything pre Man of Steel.
Cool. Just wanted to clarify. Gotcha. Okay. Before a more recent casting.
Yeah, so Man of
Gotcha.
Steel is the start of the DCEU, just like Iron Man is the start of the MCU.
Right. Okay. Okay. Just wanted to clarify because damn.
Yeah. Yeah, that is quite unfortunate.
You know what? Give me a second here.
What's up?
No, you keep talking. I'm gonna look up. I'm curious how much the Justice League movie overall has made.
Yeah. I don't know. I think maybe around 600 million or something like that. But, this isn't counting, of course. This is just like their box office totals. It's not including any of their,
Yeah. Okay.
DVD or Blu-ray sales, anything like that.
I'd still be happy with that money.
Oh, what is it?
657.8 million United States dollars,
Yeah.
USD.
It's interesting. Like, when you look at the amount of money that a failed superhero movie makes, like, that's the amount of money that any other genre would love to make off of that movie.
I mean, first off, the budget for this movie was $300 million, which I can't even wrap my mind around that.
Yeah.
Let alone the fact that they doubled it and then some million pocket change.
Right. Yeah. I mean, so it all depends on like perspectives and all of that, of course. But I have been thinking about it, and about what in the world could have caused this movie to be the lowest grossing. And my only thing is that maybe it's just like the format. Like Warner Brothers did have a really weird format. They did Man of Steel, then Batman vs Superman, then BV. That's BV. What happened next? Suicide Squad, then Wonder Woman, then Justice League. That'd be like if Phase 1 in Marvel was like, I guess, Captain America, and then Civil War, and then some other team up movie,
And then
with,
Captain
like
America.
the villains.
No, wait, you said Captain America, then Civil War, and then
It'd be
Iron Man.
Well, no, because the third one was Suicide Squad, so it had to be another weird team up movie.
Marvel doesn't really have one like, I guess Guardians.
Yeah, it'd be Guardians.
Yeah,
Yep,
okay.
it'd be Guardians, and then it'd be Captain Marvel, which hasn't came out yet, and then it'd be Avengers.
There you go.
But yeah, I think maybe, I don't know, it's just like their weird format and switching directors, and there's several different things that they could have and should have done
The
differently.
whole switching directors thing, let's hope that they don't hiccup like that again. Let's
Right.
keep Zack Snyder, damn it.
Yeah, I don't know if Zack Snyder would want to come back at this point.
I wouldn't want to if I was him either, honestly, after
Right.
the whole shenanigans of last time.
Yeah, and I also don't think that that Joss Whedon wants to come back either.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow,
well,
so they're gonna have
this
to...
is just a rumor, of course. This next part is, and that is, and this is, I actually didn't have this written down in comic notes at all, but
Yeah, what's up?
well, the rumor goes that the cast did not have a good time at all with Joss Whedon, like at all.
This isn't Disney, mother... That's hilarious.
Fuck you mean you want another joke right here? We already had joke.
I know, right? I'm Batman. I don't joke. That's hilarious.
Yep. It is pretty funny. I would like to see Joss Whedon maybe do like an X-Men movie in the future, because just reading like his work on the Astonishing X-Men run, that was really good. So I'd love to see like his take on like an X-Men movie.
And I want to see Quentin Tarantino do the next DC movie.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
God, no.
Yes. Why
Like,
not?
I'm not even like I'm not a super huge Star Trek fan, but I don't even want to see him do a Star Trek movie that he's talking about doing.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. In that case, a fun question, just real quick. We don't have to elaborate, but who would you choose director-wise to be the next DC movie choice?
Well, you mean for like the big team up movie, like the Justice League?
Sure. Let's format it like that. I was just gonna leave it.
I mean,
because his choice,
because
like,
it would
you
depend
choose
on
for the
like
next
which.
movie.
Oh, choose the next movie and director.
No, I mean for the next movie, who would you choose of notable directors to be the next director?
Well, I don't know. That's kind of an odd question because they already have like the next movies and directors set up.
In that case, let's just reformat it, like you were saying. Let's go to the next big DC movie. Sure. Let's pretend they don't have a director already in mind. Who would you pick if you were the executive?
Okay, so
Yeah.
am I picking the movie too?
No, just pick the director. Let's say the next big one is Justice League 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if I were to do a Justice League 2,
Yeah. Who would you have be directing?
let's see. I don't know. I'd want someone who's good with an ensemble cast.
I know, right? Kind of cool, fun thought there. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a tough one. Who's good with like big ensemble type movies, and they also need to be able to handle like really creative and ingenious shots. Too. And they also need. I mean, geez, yeah, that's just a tough one.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll have to think about it. I'll come back to you with that one because I was not prepared for that myself.
Yeah, I'll have to come back to that one. Let's see. Next up, we're gonna have a little bit of more positive news here. I guess this isn't really negative or positive. It's just news.
Okay.
So the Doctor Doom movie will be a mixture of genres, they say. So I guess it won't be a straight up, action or science fiction or.
Okay.
I mean, this is going to be like a mixture of genres, and I don't know how I feel about that right now, just because it's kind of an odd statement.
Yeah, I was about to say that is like what we're gonna have like a romance story.
I don't think that's what they. I hope that's not what they mean.
I was about to say that. Well, I mean, I can kind of see that, like a failed romance story,
Yeah, I can see that.
between him and Susan or something. I don't know. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So let's see. What's this guy's name? I guess the.
But don't make it mixed like we got a comedy or something mixed up in this. Yeah.
Yeah. It looks like the director for this one is going to be Noah Hawley. I think that's his name. Oh, and he says here, what's interesting to me about Doom's character is he's the king of an Eastern European country, and there's a version of this that is more of a political thriller that mixes genres.
Okay.
So I kind of see what he means.
I can see that. That would be cooler because then we actually get the chance to really flesh out more of who Doom really was. Of his capability.
Yeah, because regardless of a lot of the evil shit he does, he is at times considered to be like a pretty good ruler.
Yeah.
So it's not like he's like this evil dictator.
Even though his methods might be questionable, he's still effective. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's almost like if Putin wasn't completely batshit crazy. Shit, I hope Putin didn't hear this.
Little do you know, this is our last episode. Putin shut us down.
No, Putin wouldn't shut us down. Putin would have us killed.
Yeah.
Anyways, So I'm interested to see how this movie turns out. They already have a director. I don't think they have anyone cast in the roles yet, but.
And they don't have any other details to give us or anything like that, like expectancy, estimation, nothing. Okay, I was just fishing.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
Next up is something that I'm pretty sure that we're all not familiar with, but Deadpool has a new trailer.
Yeah.
And in the new trailer, he assembles the X-Force.
Which I'm not going to lie, guys, I immediately watched it. I broke my own fresh new rule here and said, okay, yes. And it was worth it. It was a damn good trailer.
It was a really good trailer.
Yeah. Cable, dude.
Right.
Yes.
As we get closer to the Deadpool 2 release date, of course, we're going to be covering a lot more on Deadpool and a lot more on the X-Force. But I did think it was interesting though that, for one thing, it seems like Deadpool is the one that's assembling the X-Force here.
Yeah.
And it also seems like he's assembling the X-Force to help stop Cable, who was the one who really started the X-Force. But yeah, I thought that was interesting. And also, they have a really interesting roster as well.
Yeah, we were talking about that a little bit. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
And I was super surprised to see... Well,
like the choice of characters.
Terry Crews, like playing Bedlam. Most of the people that they're choosing for the X-Force movie, like a lot of the characters really are like lesser known for sure. You know, a lot of these guys, I don't think I've read anything from them since like the 90s. You know?
Yeah. Hey, I mean,
yeah,
I'm still super excited.
Oh yeah, me too, definitely.
And honestly, most of the things I've read, people are estimating that this is going to be a far better, far more successful movie than Deadpool 1 was.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is saying something.
That is saying something. I think so too. I really hope it is. I really hope that they, stick the superhero landing. And also, he's continuing this romance with this woman, which is to me is a little awkward too. Like, I was fine with it for the first one.
Sure.
But I mean, that's not really Deadpool, you know.
Sure, it's not really Deadpool, but I do still want to give them some creative room to do whatever the hell they want. Because
it just leads more credence to that theory we had where superhero movies feel like they can't go without a romance.
True. I'm hoping, and this was a private thought. I don't know if I've spoken with you about this yet, but I'm hoping that this is a funny, even cutesy, comical lead, and eventually to a potential of the female Deadpool coming out maybe in Deadpool 3 or something, you know? Like she picks up the female equivalent of the role. You know, something cool like that.
I honestly never want to see that, but yeah.
I mean, okay. I'm sure everyone has mixed opinions. I think it'd be kind of a fun direction to take.
It's just for me, even in comics, one Deadpool has always been enough.
Oh yeah. No, we never needed the multiverses of Deadpool that they've given us now. But movie-wise, I think it could play out.
Next up, Black Panther becomes the highest grossing movie of all time in the United States. I did not make up that sentence. That
I just saw that online. I was wondering if that was going to be with us tonight or not. That's phenomenal.
That is beyond phenomenal.
Awesome.
Like, here's the thing: Black Panther's doing so well that there was. I wish I wrote down the guy's name, but there was someone in Marvel who said, "I don't know if Infinity War is going to do as well as Black Panther."
Oh my gosh, that's such a sad thought, and he had the balls to share it. Right. It's like, well, sir, you weren't the only one thinking that behind the curtains here, I'm sure.
You know, I'm sure they were like, okay, Black Panther's going to be a strong lead-in for Infinity War, and then Infinity War's just going to shatter
exactly.
But now they're like, oh, well, shit.
No, you didn't get a bodyguard. You got the damn Juggernaut, who for some reason also gained other heroes' powers, making him more competent.
This is just the rocket ship that won't quit going.
Exactly. Like, you passed the moon.
I mean,
I guess we're going to Mars tonight. You passed Mars.
Just thinking about all the movies that Black Panther's already beaten. It's beaten Avengers. It's beaten The Last Jedi.
Thank you. That's only good news to me. Like, I feel like now we deserve to make a victory meal or drink or something for that.
Yeah.
That means it's also beat the entirety of the Dark Knight trilogy. I mean, shit, dude.
I think so. Yeah, I think it beat the Dark Knight. Yep.
I mean, yeah, shit. I mean,
wow. Yeah.
Well done, guys.
Yeah. It's not the highest grossing movie of all time. But
No.
It's still the highest grossing movie in the U.S.
Yeah.
So of course, Avatar, Titanic. Calm down, James Cameron. You're still fine.
I know, right?
You're still number 1 and 2.
Freaking James Cameron.
Yeah.
Oh. Reflecting back to the original question,
you think he could do a good job directing a superhero movie?
Well, no. I'm talking about if for some reason he changed his mindset again and wanted to do a Justice League 2, he would make a powerful one, but I don't know if he has I digress.
Right.
If he wanted to do it, I think it would be good. I don't know if it would be the movie we need, though.
I think if James Cameron wants to direct a superhero movie, like if he really wanted to,
Right,
I think
which is completely topsy-turvy for him.
I think that he can. Well, I mean, he did freaking Terminator, you know. Well, I mean, the good ones. He did the good Terminators. I mean, the ones that like that broke the sci-fi genre, and then the second one that shattered records.
True,
you know. So I mean, people give James Cameron a lot of shit, but like I got nothing but respect for that guy. I mean, he's done phenomenal things with movies. And then he went like 6 miles under the ocean or some crazy shit like that. Remember that when he got to like a little he got to like a little submarine. He like dove deep down into the ocean,
just for kicks and giggles. Did he want to see the jellyfish or something? I mean, what?
Well, there's a lot of creepy shit down in the ocean.
Oh no,
man.
there's lots of creepy shit. I mean,
a lot of shit that we don't even know what's down there. Well, I wouldn't want to go.
That's a cool bucket list. I mean, shoot.
I think he also did he film some of it? I don't even know.
I would want to.
I don't know how you could with it being so dark.
Oh, we got the technology. Yeah, we night vision.
Anyways, guys. Next up, and unfortunately, I didn't mean for this to happen. We're ending on kind of a downer.
You do this so often. Not so often, but you've done this a few times. Just a few.
Yeah.
Okay.
FX cancels Donald Glover's Deadpool animated TV show.
Oh man.
Yep. So that cool ass concept show that we were gonna get with Donald Glover creating a Deadpool cartoon, is no more.
I'm trying to remember. Is this the second animated superhero related cartoon that was a failed project for him? Because I don't know if my memory's helping me out or not. I think I'm getting mixed up. I don't know. I'd have to look that up. Yeah. Never mind.
But yeah, unfortunately, that's the thing. So it's not going to happen. But who knows? I mean, another network could pick it up. I did think that FX was a good spot for it because FX, they kind of. I think that's a decent station as far as that type of material goes.
Cartoon Network.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Yeah. But that's it for comic news this week. Let's see. Next up is our comic question of the week. Yeah. And I still wanted to keep this in line with Jessica Jones since she's what we're covering again tonight. So cool. I'm going to ask you another Jessica Jones related question.
Purple. Final answer.
You got it.
Okay.
Yep.
Hit me.
All right.
Okay. We're doing it.
Yep. So the question, Kevin, is who... Oops. Shit. I clicked something.
The answer is who?
Yep. Who did Jessica Jones once have a crush on? Is it A, Doctor Strange, B, Matt Murdock, C, Peter Parker, D, Steve Rogers, E, Wolverine?
Okay. Jessica Dadgum Jones. So I'm overthinking it. I don't know, man. I'm kind of tossing the coin between our boy Steve Rogers or Wolverine, to be honest. Yeah.
Who doesn't have a crush on Steve Rogers?
And who are the other options, actually?
Doctor Strange, Matt Murdock, Peter Parker, Steve Rogers.
I was about to say, I'm not feeling Peter Parker at all. I'm not feeling that. I'm not feeling Strange as much either.
You got something against Men of Spiders and Doctors that are strange?
Peter Parker, for the most part of what I've known, he was kind of a kid in the timeline. Whenever, I don't know, compared to Jessica Jones, I feel like he's significantly younger. So that'd be a little weird to have a crush on a teenager. Stephen Strange, like maybe I could kind of see that. That's a weird one though. And then, the other option I'm not thinking of, not Steve, not Wolverine. Thank you. That kind of makes sense to me too. It's too easy to assume Wolverine because Marvel has had a deep love relationship with Wolverine. Like they can't let him stay dead.
That's true.
So it's like it's easy for me to imagine they just kind of played to his favor again. Again, that's me overthinking. So, if I had a 3-sided coin, I'd flip between...
Whoa.
I know, right? That got real complicated. Yeah. It's more like a cylinder you're flipping. But it'd be between Steve, Wolverine, and Matt. Let's go with Matt Murdock. Final answer.
That Matt Murdock is a handsome man.
I'm wrong.
It's actually Peter Parker.
What the hell? No, you lying piece of crap. What?
Yeah.
What? I need to look this up now.
Yeah.
Dag, no. I refuse to accept this. Where did you get your facts, sir? He's a teenage boy. Well, I guess comic characters have had weird problems in the past. Come on. So, I mean...
Well, I think you're getting like a lot of your continuity mixed up here. Peter Parker, started off as a teenager. So did Jessica Jones. When they were both in high school together, and during that time, she had a crush on him.
What?
Yeah.
No, oh my gosh.
I mean, now Peter Parker is an adult. Like, even in the events of Civil War, in the Civil War comics, he's an adult then. He's a teacher at this point. During the New Avengers, he's an adult.
This is bullshit. I'm unplugging this mic right now. I don't even care. And my search isn't working. I'm still looking this up. You can keep going. I'm going to look this up, though. Okay, it's finally loading. I don't know why my computer turned off the internet for a second. Technology. We need a tech guy on staff. Go.
That's you.
No, what? You have failed to understand my credentials. Either that or I have grossly overestimated myself.
You did. You gave me a bad resume. I was like, oh, okay. Well, you've gone to NASA?
Which is saying something, because
you worked for NASA? You went to the moon several times, you say?
Exactly, yeah. I actually have a part-time condo up there, a little, like, timeshare.
You said you wrestled a bear into submission. That's true. That's amazing, yeah.
That is true. Don't ask me how big it was. I bet you a listener out there just started imagining me wrestling like a teddy bear.
Well, I guess while Kevin's looking, there is a comic out there, guys. It's called Shirtless Bear Fighter. I believe that's what it's called. And really? I've heard that it is amazing. I haven't read it yet, though. I mean, on the surface, it sounds like it's just about a guy who's shirtless and he fights bears. But even if that is it's all about, then that sounds amazing. But, yeah, so let's go ahead and...
Oh, my gosh.
What's up? Oh, I'm sorry, Kevin. Did you find out that I was right? That I didn't lie to you?
Let's move on. You son of a bitch. And Luke Cage is pissed. I'm literally reading the panel right now, like all the comic little pictures and everything, and Wolverine's just eating cereal or Chinese food back of them, like kind of laughing about it. Son of a gun.
Yep. Yes, indeed. That was the thing. I think I also maybe I told you this, but I think last week I may have told you that she used to date Scott Lang for a while.
Yeah, I knew that one. Yeah, we talked about that last time too. Son of a bitch. You surprised me with these damn questions.
Yeah. Keeping you on your comic toes.
Let's just jump into episode 7. my comic toes. I just imagine like Comic Sans toes and whatnot. Like I got pixelated toes now. Yep. And they're in jumping position for some reason. Yeah. Alright.
Episode 7.
Yeah.
So, of course, just to recap, I'm picking up where we left off at. At the end of episode 6, Jessica, she discovers Dr. Malice's home. She breaks down into like a secret room area, and she's looking around, smelling some fragrances, and she looks at a picture.
Out of context, that just sounds weird. Please continue.
And she turns around, and who was it? It's none other than Dr. Malice and her mother.
A.K.A. the monster.
Yep, A.K.A. the monster. And so episode 7 picks up, and it's actually a flashback episode.
Which I thought was really good, actually. This was one of my preferred episodes of the season.
Yeah.
This one and one other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this was, I thought, also a really, really good episode. Just like Luke Cage has done, when there was a really big event that happened in Luke Cage. I think it's when the building came down on him, and then because that was a really big cliffhanger.
That's a big event. Yeah.
And then the next episode was the flashback episode when he was in prison. They kind of do the same thing here, where there's this big thing that happens, and next episode is the flashback. It's a really good storytelling tool. I actually love it. It falls flat if the flashback episode is a dud. But when it's really well done, like this one is, then it's a lot of fun to watch.
Well, this one had a lot going on for it too. It was valuable because it wasn't just the flashback of one character. It was the flashback of a number of characters.
Yeah.
And it was a great explanation. Yeah,
they went back and they told us a lot without really having to do a lot of retreading or rewriting things.
Exactly.
To make it fit.
Yeah.
So like Trish, she has this amazing song out. It's like the greatest song that I've ever heard in my entire life.
I'm just kind of imagining a wannabe Miley Cyrus of that day and age.
Yes.
Or basically, she was the original Miley Cyrus of that day and age. Let's get the timeline correct here. Which is still insulting, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't know who wrote the words to that song. I'm sure that it was written to purposely be horrible.
You want to sing it for us?
No, I do not.
No, of course not. No one does. No one needs that stuck in their heads.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, someone does, but we'll get to that when we get there.
Damn.
But yeah, so Trish, she's riding the heights of her new music career and her new music video. I guess it's called Cray Cray. Maybe.
Yeah.
What's it?
I want your cray.
I want your Cray Cray.
Yeah, it was something stupid. It's like, okay,
right.
Stupid pop sensation. Is Facebook out yet? Because you just broke it.
Damn.
Everyone's posting this, and you're that type of person now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Jessica is not having a good time. First of all, how old do you think these characters are here? Like early 20s?
Yeah, early 20s.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd give them early to mid 20s at most.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, I was thinking like 21, maybe 22.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. Which is comfortable.
Right. It fits because Jessica, I think she was in school.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely a totally different Jessica than we've ever experienced. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes and no.
Well, actually,
I mean, because she's still, kind of like a recluse from society.
Yeah, she's very reserved, but she's less rash. You know, she's definitely more.
She's more trusting here overall.
Right. Here, it's almost like she's just more of a, not shy really, but more like, we were saying reclused or reserved. Yeah. She's less just let me throw myself out there, and there's less anger.
Yeah, there's less anger. Yeah, and there's just like a little bit of teenage angst residue.
Like she looks like she'd be more comfortable watching a Nirvana cover band than she would in this club.
Yeah. This isn't her scene, definitely. Let's see. Yeah, so she goes over. Long story short, because we got to cover like 5 episodes here.
Oh no, yeah, we got actually.
Is it 6?
No, we're covering. No, we did 1 through 6 last time.
Yeah,
and now we're doing 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
7.
Yeah, we're covering 7. Yeah.
Let's go ahead and put the motorboat on this thing then.
It's not starting.
Anyway, so she ends up her and Trish get into a fight. Can you believe that?
Oh my gosh!
Because I mean, I think that this is really great though. Because I think if you do it too much, then it becomes eye rolling. But these two, they have just enough fights and makeups, for us to really believe their relationship and their friendship.
Well, they really are opposing forces in so many ways, especially in their youth here. It's night and day difference from even their own separate characters. Like young versus old Trish is like, who the hell are you?
Right.
You know? Yeah. So it was really awesome to watch that.
It was, yeah. It was great to see that chemistry, like you said. It was great to see how those two interact and just the differences, because on paper they almost shouldn't get along.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, if they weren't adopted family members, then they never would have walked up to each other and said, "Hey, what's up? My name's such and such." Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
I don't think that happens either.
How many people have actually asked that, I wonder? Like, if you and your sibling weren't siblings, would you actually ever walk up to each other and be like, "Hey, how you doing? I want to be your friend. Like, I'm choosing to have this relationship."
Anyways.
That's
a good question.
I mean, yeah.
But her and Trish just aren't seeing eye to eye right now. Jessica, she's still drinking, even way back when.
Oh yeah.
And Trish, she's just a party girl, trying to get her. Well, she's doing what a lot of those pop stars do. And Jessica, she ends up getting into like another big blowout fight with Trish, and the two, it's almost like they're just like done with each other. Yeah, it's the way that they dramatize this fight here. Jessica, she breaks into an ATM. That was really cool.
Yeah, I mean, she
I'm pretty
without
sure,
hesitation said, "Man,
right.
this machine." Yeah.
Pretty sure those things have cameras, but yeah, that was still pretty cool.
She's the reason they have cameras now.
Yeah. And afterwards, she ends up hooking up with the barkeep that she had a conversation with earlier that night.
Yeah. Give me a second. What's his name? It was Adam. Something.
No, it was Dick Bag McGee.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Dick Bag McGee.
Okay, I'm trying to find it, but yeah. Nah, yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, I don't know either. Okay, either way.
Yep. So Dick Bag McGee, we can call him Mr. McGee or Dick Bag for short, doesn't matter, or DB, DBM, either way. She hooks up with DBM, and then like there's some time that passes here, and
Sterling Adams.
Yeah, Dick Bag McGee. That's what I said.
Yeah, that's what you said. Yeah.
Sterling Adams. Only douchebags are named Sterling.
Yeah, kind of like one of my favorite characters from that animated show, Archer. I loved Archer. Yeah. He was always a dickhead.
To my surprise, these two actually got along a lot better than I thought they would, and like their relationship was, at least on the surface, going really well with one another.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed like I don't know, like Jessica really needed someone like that. It felt like at this younger, more naive, more fresh age and whatnot. Either way, it looked really good on screen. They were compatible. They were great thieves.
Yeah, and that's what they were. They were really just thieves. And Sterling, like he knows how to play the cards right. He convinced Jessica, that he wanted to meet her family. He really just wanted to meet Trish, and that he'll let her meet his family because he thought he played it like we're having this budding relationship. I think we just need to get to know each other's families and things like that. He played it like that, but in reality, he wanted something from it.
Oh yeah,
yeah. He's one of the worst.
He deserves the name Dick Bag, as you said.
Yeah, McGee.
Dick Bag McGee.
Yeah. He's one of the worst kind of people out there. One who feigns friendship and relationship and that he cares and has feelings.
Exactly.
But then
he used his charisma as a weapon, really, to just kind of manipulate.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he's not a sociopath, but it is a sociopathic tendency. Except he never really in front of Jessica mistreated her, but behind her back he definitely did.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so they finally meet with Trish in a nightclub of all places.
What do you know?
Yeah, and Trish, she's just messed up, Probably got a little bit of white residue under her nose. Who knows? And this is when he pitches his idea to Trish about her being like an investor for his nightclub. And of course, Jessica is thinking what we're all thinking. What the hell, man?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, and then he has the audacity to play it off like, what? While I was here, I thought that maybe there was just a good thing to do, good idea.
Again,
and then he spins it like this. He goes, "Don't you want me to succeed?" Yeah, he plays that card. Yeah. And
guys, if you have someone in your life like that, anybody, not just guys and gals, then just do us a favor and bitch slap them. Just lean over to them right now, look them dead in the eye, and
yes.
And say it's from the homies.
Say it's from Don't say anything else. Just say that's from the homies.
Amen.
Yeah, because there's no talking to those kind of people anyway.
That's gonna be our first T-shirt.
Oh man, but no, Jessica, she lets that charm work on her, man. She fails the charisma check, and so she's under the spell now, and so those two resume their whole lovey-dovey deal.
Yeah.
And until some of Sterling's, work associates.
That's a way of saying it.
That's
his gang buddies.
Yeah. There we go. They forced their way into their little apartment, into Jessica and Sterling's little place,
Which looked like a cool place.
It did.
They trashed it a little bit.
Right.
But it was a cool place.
I was gonna ask, like, who's paying for that, but I guess the ATMs are paying for it.
I was about to say, I mean, if you could punch through an ATM like a cardboard box, then, I mean,
Right.
just punch through the camera.
Yeah. But, I guess we also have to mention that this isn't the first time that we've seen him use Jessica, because there's one point in the episode where he looks at a jacket and he mentioned something about how that's a cool jacket and, it'd be nice if he had it. And then Jessica, without hesitation, like lifts up like the metal grate.
Oh, yeah.
And then breaks in and then takes the jacket for him like it's no big deal.
Well, no, that was her jacket.
Oh, yeah, it was.
Yeah,
wasn't
no,
it? He said that
that's
looked
her
good on
notorious
her.
jacket,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, so she stole that jacket.
Yeah. No, which is really cool because
is.
she's had that jacket every
Forever.
episode.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like you can see how influential this whole saga
Ordeal.
was for her. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
She even. Well, I'll mention that later. Let's go.
She even wears the thing during the summer. No, it's going to be hot.
In New York, of all
In New
places,
York,
like,
yeah.
what the hell, woman?
Yeah, I was there for a time. It gets hot.
Yeah? Damn.
Yeah.
It's like humid too, ain't it?
Oh, yeah.
Damn.
Because it's still on the eastern seaboard, so
Yeah.
it's still humid. Yeah.
The hell with that.
One of her superpowers.
To you New Yorkians out there, that was harder to say than I thought it was. I wish you the best.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, so his gang buddies bust into their apartment and, asking about, well, what's up with the nightclub? You said you're going to have this much money or whatever, blah, blah, blah. What's going on with it? And, he's telling them, well, I'm getting it together and all this and that. And then Jessica beats the shit out of them, because why not?
Yeah, because she's Jessica.
Yeah, because she's Jessica. And sometimes beating the shit out of people was just the right thing to do. And
That's a song somewhere.
And so she does, and she leaves them leaving with their tails between their legs, and yeah. And so just fast forward through this episode here. So like the next thing we get here is also that we see a side of Jessica's mom, Alyssa. We get to see a lot more of the shit that she going through. So I feel like we definitely have to mention like her ordeal through these years also.
Of course.
Yeah. With her first waking up, with the hideous burns all over her body and, snapping when she sees her own reflection and just how messed up she is.
I would too.
Yeah. Could you imagine?
Like, you didn't go Harvey Dent, you went Harvey Dent times 2, which is your whole face.
Yeah,
There's a mathematician for you.
Yeah. And, so she snaps and, she just throwing people left and right, and people are scared because this super strong, psychopathic, extremely scarred, hideous looking person is rampaging through a hospital.
So we can see how they earned the name The Monster.
Yeah. And she grabs little Jessica without anyone knowing that was Jessica, except for Dr. Malice. And then he tells her, hey, that's your daughter, that's Jessica, leave her alone, da-da-da. And then he's able to stick with that damn needle.
Was he wearing a classic rock band shirt at this point? Like,
he does throughout most of the episodes.
I thought so, yeah, because he had like The Cure for a while.
He had the Doors.
The Doors a lot.
Yeah.
Who else? He had Def. Oh shoot. I don't know. They have the skull, red and blue inside the skull. Oh man, I don't know. I didn't listen to him much, but classic rock shirts.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, that was kind of his deal. Mm-hmm. But then we see her wake up, and like we're supposed to be on the assumption that some time has passed now, a couple years, because when she first, snapped and was scarred all over her body, and had Jessica, like Jessica was like a little kid, and this was shortly after the incident. But then like some years passed by now for Alyssa, and she wakes up and her scars are gone for the most part, except for on the back of her head. Interesting how they couldn't get rid of those.
Right? Like, I kind of raised an eyebrow at that.
Yeah.
Like, oh, whatever, I guess. I guess that's where the pillow was just...
That's right.
Too much coverage.
Yeah. But no, it's at this point where we meet the the nurse that's shacking up with Jerry. We get her and one other nurse. What's that nurse's name? Is it Inez?
Sure.
Nurse Junkie, so I'm going to call her.
Nurse Junkie is a good nickname.
Yeah. But this is before Nurse Junkie was actually a junkie. And they were supposedly Alyssa was sedated, and so they were just trying to go through and I guess uncover her so they could do, I guess experiments or tests or whatever. But then they realized that she was not sedated at all. So she just straight up killed one, turned her head completely around, and then threw Nurse Junkie into like a glass container and just lacerations all over her body. You got something there?
No, I'm finding the name of the nurse, Inez Green. You got the first name right, Inez.
Wow.
Yeah, there you go. Played by Leah Gibson. Yep.
And that led some credence to Inez's story about the lacerations all over her body, and what happened to her back when she was a nurse for Dr. Malice.
Yeah, which was, I'm sure, a very traumatic experience.
Oh yeah. But yeah, long story short, some time goes by, and then Dr. Malice is kind of able to gain her trust. There's something wrong with Alyssa though, because when she gets angry, it's like she gets like Hulk stupid almost.
Yeah, no, her anger management is non-existent.
Yeah, it's not good.
Like, we climb a scale. For her, it's just like a gas pedal.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, shit. Let's go ahead and wrap this episode up.
Yeah, for sure.
So long story short, she's able to get out, and she goes to visit Jessica, and she sees the dickhead boyfriend, and she finds out that the dickhead boyfriend is a dickhead. He's a dickbag McGee. Yeah. Sterling.
She actually encounters him bargaining Jessica with the same gangbangers.
Yeah.
Who were smart enough this time to encounter him without Jessica being around. Yeah. And
he's like, he goes for it.
Sure. I'll prostitute her out for a service or whatever.
Yeah.
Not for sexual service, but for muscle.
Yeah.
And then, of course, good old Mama Monster has a problem with this, and
she bashes
that neck bone.
No, she bashes his head against the wall.
Which is, damn, woman.
Yeah.
Like, that wasn't quick and painless. That was anger, boosh, anger, boosh, yeah. And then, at this point, it really is evident that through the background, through what we get to know as the audience, how pertinent Jessica's mom was to Jessica's growth. Not just because of the traumatic backstory she's been believing for eons, but also for the things that she's done without Jessica's knowing, like the killing of the boyfriend, who was obviously a huge staple in Jessica's lifespan here.
Yeah, let's talk about Jessica's reaction to seeing her boyfriend. Like,
hell yeah! I mean,
that's one of the few. We can count on one hand how many times we've seen Jessica have that kind of emotional reaction. And, that just tore her up. And you can imagine that played a big part of her becoming as stonewalled as she is.
Yeah.
Emotionally speaking.
It closed her off. It was a huge trauma to deal with on top of the other stuff that she never emotionally, healthily dealt with, Yeah, so this is just, here's another stack of pancakes of problems on top of these other pancake problems you got.
Yeah. And pancakes are supposed to be delicious.
They're supposed to be delicious, but these are the kind that have been sogging in problematic syrup for too long. It's now they're all mushy.
You're right.
I love that imagery. Let's go.
Yep.
Let's do it.
But the episode ends with Jessica coming out of the flashback, and she's still shocked at seeing her mother, and Dr. Malice is able to tranquilize Jessica and then strap her to the mom's bed.
Dr. Malice is a little bit of a dick. Kind of like playing the fun. Hey, how you guys doing? I'm that smooth doctor. I got that great bedside manner. Stab. Here's some anesthesia for you.
That's the signature move, man. That's what he does.
If this was a fighting game, his square, triangle, and circle button wouldn't be punches or kick variations. It would be stab.
Stab me with that damn needle, putting you to sleep.
Yep. Ultimate, bigger stab.
But yeah, let's go on to episode 8 here. So episode 8...
An X would be jump.
Okay.
Yep, I'm done now.
So with episode 8, this one starts with with Jessica and the mom pretty much being locked inside this panic room of a bedroom, and and Dr. Malice getting away. Jessica mom, she's just madly in love. They're madly in love with each other.
Yeah, and you're just kind of like, oh. This is a weird relation. Yeah.
I have this written down in a later episode, but it applies here now too.
Oh,
and that is Alyssa. She has to have Stockholm syndrome, right? I mean, this is just a classic case of Stockholm.
You know what? Give me a second here. This is fun. I'm gonna look this up real quick, so we can read this off a little bit to our listeners here. Okay. Okay. People who have Stockholm syndrome, for everyone out there, typically have post-traumatic stress. Check. Nightmares. Check. Insomnia. I'd say check. Yeah. If not solely for the purpose of the story.
Right.
Flashbacks. A tendency to startle easily. Big fat check. Give that one a double check. Confusion. Okay, I'd give it to him. And difficulty trusting others. Yeah.
But let's talk about the big thing about Stockholm syndrome, which is they fall in love with their kidnappers.
Actually, that's kind of the lead in here. Where it's they softball it here in what I found, but they say they may even be treated with kindness. Okay,
no
kindness quotations, but cool.
No, because the mom is definitely falling in love with this doctor who has, for all intents and purposes, kidnapped her. Like, she is a slave. She even says she was locked up for years. She has Stockholm.
Just stabbed with needles.
Yeah. So the mom, she lets him get away, because she doesn't want him to get caught and they're madly in love. And at this point, I'm just like, you guys are going to really have to sell me on this because this is stupid.
Real quick, that is actually a very great observation, and that really supports something I want to talk about later, too. Damn, I didn't think about correlating that, but yeah, you're right. She's a classic Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah.
Wow. Damn, Jessica, come on, girl. We can't see this?
Right.
Okay. What are we doing? Keep talking.
Yeah. So Jessica, at first, I'm all in with Jessica on this. Like, all right, you got it. You know what you're doing. You got the door locked. At least no one can get in or out. But you called the cops, and so they're on their way now. They're gonna get the monster. You got this.
Yep.
But during their time in there, Jessica kind of starts to get softened to what her mom is saying.
Yeah.
And
of course, this would actually be Jessica's poison here, but a bottle of bad booze.
Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It was like rosé crap or some bad wine. Yeah.
Jessica's not a wine person.
No, yeah, but her mom was.
Yeah.
She loves crappy wine.
Right.
Yeah.
But
which to some alcoholics out there say, that makes her a bigger monster. I don't know. That's a bad joke.
They were able to not really bond, but I guess kind of relive some memories that they have together.
Yeah, and they kind of had appropriate time to hash out other shit too. Did they have an intense conversation about past boyfriends here? Was that done immediately, or I can't remember if that was done this episode or not.
Me either. It may have been.
I know eventually it comes up.
Yeah.
Eventually it's like a "you killed my boyfriend" type thing. But
it does. That's in a later episode. Actually, I know what you're talking about.
Okay. Cool. Got you.
Yeah, but I guess the thing that really gets me here though is like, and I can't really, as much as I want to blame Jessica, I guess I fairly can't do it because. On one hand, I'm like, you haven't seen her since you were a small child. It's probably been close to 20 years since you've seen her. You probably don't remember much anything about her with it being that long and with how much you drink.
Well, yeah, okay. The drinking, definitely throw that in there. Yeah. No.
Oh, it's like if I haven't seen my parents since I was 8 or 10 years old.
Well, I mean, Jessica was at least a teenager
when the
they
accident
died.
happened.
Yeah. Because she had a younger brother who was 14, 13-ish.
The younger brother was that old?
Yeah. And she was a teenager. She was at least high school age.
Was she?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because when she got held captive by her monster mom, that looked like a little child.
Oh, yeah, no, she was always tiny. It's like my little sister. She's like the smallest thing on the earth. People still ask her if she's 14, and she's like 20 plus.
Yeah.
But anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. But
that was a weird direction.
you say a weird erection?
What the hell? No, what the...
It's like you said...
A weird direction.
It's like you said there was a weird erection.
Oh, shit.
I was like...
I wish we edited.
I wish you didn't say that was a weird erection.
I said it was a weird direction.
You said you did it again.
Oh, my God.
But no.
Dadgum you.
Yeah. But anyways, here, like, if I was in Jessica's position, then I wonder, like, would I? I mean, I like to sit here and say that, yeah, I'd definitely turn my mom in.
I mean, I'm labeling hard here, but I'm having a hard time describing it in my head adequately. So help me out here.
Yeah.
Logistical justice is what I'm going to label it here. Logistical justice would say, yeah, I would turn her in because she did a bad thing. She killed people. She's roiding out. You can't control her unless you got a fat ass needle and you get lucky and give her Stockholm syndrome. But I don't know. Like I understand. I think where you're coming from, because it's like you kind of also understand her crazy made up connection to this person who happens to be her blood mother, because it's like, she's your mom. I mean,
right.
It's a weird line, and it's foggy, you know?
It is.
Yeah.
It is,
And that's where you're going, right?
Right.
Yeah.
It's very, like you said, very foggy, but I guess for me, like, it should be clear. Like, even if I had a close relative that, come to find out, has murdered a shitload of people, like, hey, I gotta turn you in. Fuck blood. Like, you've killed people.
Yeah. But there is also another ingredient we're forgetting about. The trauma that she's never properly dealt with of losing her mom. Thus, now she finally gets that opportunity to see her and confront her again.
But
so it's that vacuum that she's had this whole time finally being filled, or potentially being filled again, Yeah. So it's a little different again.
But Jessica in this episode even says, no, stay away from me because you're not my mom. My mom died a long time ago. And
right.
She was referring to the fact that, like, the mother she knew died a long time ago. You're just a monster.
Right.
You're just a monster wearing my mother's face.
Who technically... Oh, wait. Did she have the mom's face? I thought her face was kind of... I guess it's technically her mom's face, isn't it? Yeah, okay. Sure. But,
Yeah, but they escape, and Jessica takes her back to her apartment. And, yeah...
It's at this point in the series where I kind of started rolling my eyes a little bit, to be honest. For these next few episodes, at these few parts, I'm just kind of like, Jessica, literally, if this was a sitcom and you had an audience, everyone would be saying, take her to jail, damn it.
Exactly.
Raft or no raft, get her out of here. I don't care if it's called The Canoe, get her out,
Yeah.
Because it's like you... Let's go on.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
I'm not going to bitch about it.
But yeah, before we get to the big climactic finale, let's talk about Malcolm and what he's doing here.
Malcolm's still the shit.
Malcolm's the man here. Yeah. He is. He's the unsung hero of the series. He goes and he does some good PI detective work.
He becomes much cooler second half of season 2, right? Yeah.
I mean, I love him from the beginning of the season.
Oh yeah, no, he's great all throughout, but then it's like he gets a really fitting, like, happy ending here. Yeah.
I mean, I do have a little bit of qualms about his ending, but for the most part, I think that it is pretty great.
Yeah.
But Malcolm, he tracks down the I forget his name. It's the male associate of Jerry's Jerry's law firm, and
we're gonna call him gay lawyer.
Yeah, that's what he is.
Yeah.
And but this man apparently has a family. But he didn't moonlight because he is actually a homosexual male. But he goes to this gay bar, and hopes. But Malcolm goes there and pretty much tells him, "Look, man, I'm not here for that. I'm here to tell you that you need to, just come out to your family, man, because in the end, somebody's going to get hurt. And, I know it's a hard thing to do, but it's what you need to do before someone uses this as a weapon.
Which is classic Malcolm.
Yeah. And it was great because Malcolm was being honest and straightforward with him, but at the same time getting dirt. Mm-hmm. And then the man goes, well, eventually Malcolm gets the man to talk about the other associate, Chow.
And you know how he did that, I thought was great. He lied. He didn't involve Hogarth at all. He was like, oh no, Chow's the one who hired me to get dirt on you.
Exactly, yeah. And he does it really sly, saying things like, you know what, this is too much dirt for me. Chow can do this on her own. I'm not doing this. And he goes, oh, Chow, she's the one? Like, it was
like,
really
Malcolm,
cleverly
you
done.
learned quite well, man. Yeah.
It was really cleverly done.
Yeah.
And, he gets what he needs at the time on Chow because he tells him, what about all her offshore accounts and illegal assets and things like that? And it's like, well, here we go.
I know, right?
Good
Malcolm's
job.
just like, if this was a video game, Malcolm not only got the achievement for completing the mission for story mode, but he also got the bonus objective, the hidden one done.
Yeah.
Got that silver trophy.
Yeah. So next, what happens is that as the lawyer is walking away, they're being heckled by some jackasses.
Yeah, exactly. Some gay haters.
Yeah. I think those called homophobic people.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, there's still a few of those out there.
Yeah. Yeah, even in 2018, there still are. But yeah, so they're heckling Malcolm and then this other guy, and then Malcolm, he tells them in no uncertain terms to fuck off. He doesn't actually use those words, I don't think.
Right. Yeah.
But there's three of them and one of Malcolm, and
the lawyer's no good in a fight.
Well, no, the lawyer he's gone by this point.
Yeah, exactly.
He's gone. Like he's nowhere to be seen. And so a fight breaks out. Malcolm does better than you would think an ex-junkie to do, but he he does pretty good to hold his own here. But then of course the numbers catch up to him, and but then who comes to save the day? None other than Trish.
Yeah,
and
he's all hawked up.
Yeah, and then she gives Malcolm a hit.
Yeah, it was. My brain keeps wanting to call it the HGH inhaler. But no, that's IGH, an actual... Yeah, there it is. IGH inhaler. Because HGH would actually be the growth factor.
Yeah, that's
stuff.
human growth hormone.
Yeah. So it's like, no. No.
Yeah, no.
But no, IGH, the douchebag company.
Right. The inhaler that Simpson had.
Yeah. Which at this point, I don't know about you, man, but watching it on my laptop, just kind of Netflixing out, I was just kind of like, she's had this since the beginning of the season. How many more hits are on this inhaler? How much canister do you have left here?
That's true.
So it's like, I don't know. I questioned the inhaler the entire time, just on a quantity basis.
I guess I really didn't, because the only time she did it was when we saw her do it. Then there was maybe 8 hits.
We knew Simon has been hitting it too, and I didn't.
Simpson, yeah. Yeah. I mean, I never had an inhaler, so I'm not sure how many hits come in it. But
I mean, my grandpa has, but that was ages ago. Anyways,
yeah. But yeah, Malcolm, he is not happy about the inhaler, and he's not happy with Trish either.
The reason that she gave it to him was to help him recover from a fight gained injury and whatnot, and apparently it's working because he takes it. He's like, oh hell no, and then chucks it. He just runs.
Yeah, and then he's out of there.
Which I really respected.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. To end this episode, Jessica and the mom, they're in Jessica's apartment, and a sniper takes a shot at Alyssa and misses, and then takes another shot. Jessica, she gets hit in the back of her shoulder, and...
in whatever same conversation they were having, Alyssa forgot it, roided it out, and then left.
Yep. And that's where the episode ends. And then at this point, I'm thinking, oh shit, like, because for the most of this episode, I was a little disenchanted, mostly with the main plot at this point. Thinking,
Malcolm's point was a pickup,
right?
Everything else was like,
Malcolm's was really great, but I guess my thing about this whole side storyline, the Jerry storyline at this point, is that as fascinating as it is,
yeah, that's right. The Jerry weird love relation potential with the nurse, it was weird
because this all ties back to Jerry, the thing with Malcolm and the other lawyer. As fascinating as it is, it doesn't really help the main story in any way, shape, or fashion.
No. If anything, it kind of pushes a really awkward one that we're kind of jamming into everything here.
I do like the way that it ends with Jerry, but we'll get there when we get there.
Yeah, no, for certain. That was well done.
Yeah.
But let's continue.
Yeah. So episode 9, this stars with stupid Chang and his stupid face.
I know, right? He's freaking Chang.
He's freaking Chang, yeah. And he's the shooter. Here
dun,
and,
dun,
and
dun.
he's a really shitty sniper. He had those shots.
Yeah, and apparently he was ex-military and
right.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
I'd understand if you hit Luke Cage in the head, but come on, you know.
How the hell do you miss Luke Cage?
Well, no, that's the thing. Like it bounces off his head.
You mean
so
if you hit him and it doesn't pierce?
Exactly.
Like, but he didn't. He took like a total of like 3 or 4 shots and hit once.
Yeah, I think it was like 3. Yeah. Either way, it's like, dude, your rates right now are crappy.
Right.
Your stats are bad.
I think most snipers don't take the shot until they know they got the shot.
Exactly. That made sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alyssa goes after him, and you can see Chang's face because his face says, "Oh shit, I need to go."
He's in that oh shit mode. Ooh. Which who wouldn't be? You just took a shot at someone who like ripped apart your associate, your old military comrade. Yeah,
right.
Just F this human body. Oh shit.
Oh man. But no, he gets captured and sedated.
That's not funny, but I just keep imagining him running away saying shit. Okay. That's what he wanted to say, I'm sure. Yep.
I find it hilarious how everybody gets sedated in this show.
I know, right? You get sedated.
Yep.
You get sedated. Yeah.
Everybody gets sedated. But no, they do. I'm glad they mentioned this point here. Like that sedation was supposed to be for Alyssa, like
right.
this superhuman. Yeah. And this regular man just got the entire dose of it, apparently.
Yeah.
And he could have died, I'm sure.
I'm sure technically he should have from that. Yeah. I mean, shoot, common sedation or anesthesia can do that to a person.
Yeah, if I shoot you with a tranquilizer meant for an elephant,
I'm dead. Like, just put me in the ground. Have a funeral, you know? Yeah. Damn. And since you stabbed me, you'd pay for the funeral. So, what, a pine box?
I mean, if you're lucky, buddy. You got life insurance? Because that's going to have to cover it.
Sure. No. Yeah, for real.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and this is where I happy here that the mom clearly has Stockholm Syndrome.
There it is.
Because she's mentioning, again about Dr.
Malice.
Malice, yeah. I'm going to say Malcolm. That's not right. Dr.
Just
Malice.
imagine him as a doctor now.
Yep. Yeah, Dr. Malcolm.
Yeah.
No, but the thing of it is here, man, is that at this point, you really do have like a conundrum because Jessica does not want to kill Chang, even though the mom clearly does. Mm-hmm. But Jessica knows that she also really can't just let him go either, because he's going to go and tell. So she really has to figure out something to do. But she has some time because this man's going to be asleep for quite some time.
Yeah, I was about to say, it was at least the rest of the night and then well into the next day. Right. So almost 24 hours. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's a long time.
It's a long-ass time.
You have to wake up with like a serious headache, I bet.
Oh, yeah. Hard.
Like a throbbing migraine.
I wouldn't want to be him.
No.
Especially after what they do next.
Yeah, well. What, to him or in general?
Well, yeah, because remember, they stabbed him once. Mm-hmm. He was knocked out for the rest of the night into the next day. And then before they go off and do their next weird idea, they stab him again just to make sure that he stays in the tub.
Oh, damn,
so
that's right.
They stabbed him twice.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, and it's like, give me another needle. Douche. We'll make sure he's down for good now. Like
for good.
Yeah.
Oh, man. No, yeah, so Trish and Jess have another argument. This is when Alyssa goes to bed. and Trish comes over, and they have an argument, and at least it's a warranted argument, like it makes sense,
right?
They both have points, and it's almost like they're reliving their childhood again because Trish is high, Jess is drunk and withholding secrets.
Like history repeats itself.
Yeah, history repeats itself in this case. But no, Trish is upset because she knows that Jess knows something about this IGH case, something about the killer, and Jess isn't telling her anything. And
is it this point where Jess is just like, nope, the case is done, we're giving it up?
Yeah, well, she says that over the phone in the previous episode, and then she tries to reiterate it here. But Trish is like, you can't just withhold this. You gotta, let us know, tell us something.
Which technically, I mean, it would have been nice of her to do so, but at the same time, logistically speaking, from my point of view, I don't think she really did, It's like, I don't have to keep you up to date with all the shit that I got going on in my life, Yeah, I mean...
Yeah, that's
it's
true.
It's a dickhead thing, but again, all I'm trying to say, it was less Trish's business than she was making it out to be.
Well, if it was just a personal matter, then sure. But if I know that you're chasing a killer, and then...
Oh, hell no. You be with me, man. Yeah. It's like, I'm not going at that solo. I don't have a death wish.
And I think that's where Trish is coming from here. Like, you're chasing a killer who has some kind of superpowers like yours. Like, don't you think you need to fill me in?
Yeah,
you're going to need help from all angles.
Yeah, definitely warranted.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, these two just have another argument, and then they go their separate ways. And I guess disclaimer / spoiler: they never truly make up.
Nope.
And so it really just kind of
it only gets worse.
It only gets worse.
It only gets worse. What the hell?
Yeah. Well, let's see. So the mom has night terrors, pretty bad ones at that.
So bad that she has to have her own custom handcuff system
just to sleep. Yeah,
just to sleep. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. She breaks the ones that Jessica's plays. Like they weren't made good enough.
Apparently, yeah.
And yeah. And so I guess they just really wanted to show us how Jessica is the one that even in her night terrors could potentially calm her ass down.
Sure.
Yeah. Trish, she has full blown relapsed. She's in her kitchen. She took a hit of the inhaler. She's eating a hamburger, making it look both delicious and gross at the same time.
Yeah, it's like this super attractive woman sloppily eating a burger. I'm not talking about a really gross Hardee's commercial, generally gross. Yeah. Yeah.
Like, you need to put that thing together, And,
you went to Five Guys and asked them to make it sloppier.
Right.
Five Guys is delicious. Yeah. That's 2 advertisements I just made.
Yeah, it's true. You dissed Hardee's. Then you...
their commercial line that they've been making, it's like, what the hell, guys? Yep. What are you selling?
Hey, man, sex and food, man.
Not at the same time.
You're not doing it right then, Kevin.
Move on, okay.
Anyways.
Shit. Water.
So Trish, she's sloppily eating that hamburger, and she has her laptop on and is playing the news, and she goes over to the computer and she realizes that her ex-boyfriend, whatever his name is,
Griffin,
Sir Dushalak Griffin, that's it. That's what I said too.
Sir Dusha Griffin.
Yep, there we go. And he's somewhere in, I think, Syria or somewhere reporting, and
somewhere where he needed a bulletproof vest.
Yeah. And she was looking at him look at him because he's the hero. Of course he is.
Which apparently his news station was a very honest news station. Yeah. It wasn't one where they were trying to fake, there's bullet stuff action stuff
right.
going on. Yeah. So.
And I'm not gonna lie. At this point, especially the way that it was shot, I was really hoping that a missile was just gonna come down and hit him directly.
Douche.
Not
a Stark missile.
Yeah, not the vicinity, not the area. I wanted the mission to hit him in particular.
Somehow, some way, that missile had a heat signature lock on this man.
And that it would just hit him right in the face.
At this point, what the hell are you doing here? Whatever, man.
hell, he wants to. I mean, sometimes the best way to get over a breakup is to, I guess, bury yourself in your work. So you don't have to think about it.
Well, I mean, it's not even that what I'm thinking of. It's more just like the way that they were using these new characters. It just really was throwing them into the wind and letting them wisp away, type thing. You know?
Yeah.
It's like I didn't feel any connection, no meat.
No.
So honestly, it's more like, well, you had a very one-sided purpose. Well done.
Basically.
Yeah. So, I don't know.
Let's see.
If he died, it would have been like, oh, he's dead. Okay.
Yeah. Moving on. Oscar's ex, his baby mama, kidnaps his son.
Cool. Oh, yeah. Yes, she does.
Yeah. And so actually then they intercuts. The next scene we get is actually Trish. She's on Trish Talk, and she has a woman on promoting her gluten book.
I loved this scene.
Yeah.
I loved this scene so much.
Like hi Trish on IGH is like my favorite Trish.
I know, right? Ernest Hemingway would have watched this and said, well, shit.
Yeah. You know, it's great because actually I watched this episode like not maybe in the past couple days.
Yeah.
But it's interesting because like earlier this week, Monday as a matter of fact, at my job, guys, I was in a bad mood because, spoiler alert, I quit my job. I was no longer there, but it was my last week working there, and I was, I guess, in kind of a bad mood. And one of my coworkers noticed that I was kind of in a grumpier mood than usual, and she asked, what's wrong? And me, sometimes being the smartass that I can be, instead of telling her what's wrong with me, I just told her what's wrong in general. And Trisha's rant sounded eerily similar to the rant that I went off on. But no, so I really resonated with this rant because like I actually had a similar rant recently. But I really love just how she goes off here.
No, I loved it because she's actually talking about real shit. Like the show, in a sense, here peeks over the fourth wall, saying like, okay, so does gluten actually kill these people? Does gluten ever do this? Does gluten ever cause this and this? And then she goes off and talks just effing her, this book, this guest, and just everything about the show she's ever cared about in general, and just throws it against the wind. And I love it.
You know, the woman's book should have been about sugar. That way she could say, yes, it does kill people. And if you get rid of sugar, you get rid of gluten.
There you go. Yeah.
Yep.
Nutrition health.
Yeah.
But no, instead, Trish has the best storm out.
She does.
F this show, I quit, drops mic, what?
Like a fucking boss. That was great.
Yeah. All while, actually, one thing I did especially love, going back to just before her rant, as she was sitting there listening to this lady, do you recall her look?
Oh, yeah.
She was obviously effed up on the drug, the IGH, and then she's just like looking the whole time with like bitter hatred and angst and just ready to rip the table open. Just
yes.
I fucking don't care about gluten, you know? Yeah.
And she just lets her have it. Let's see. Yeah, but after she quits, we move on to the next scene where Jess and Alyssa, and Oscar, he's there too. They go to the bus station because they do some detective work and realize that and it's very cool and intricate detective work too, because they take us along with them and they show us how Jessica's able to determine where the baby mama's at with the kid. Yeah. And so they're able to track her down at the bus station, and they physically stop a bus.
Very cool. And it was a little cutesy teamwork moment. Like, I can't do it by myself. Mom, come help, whatever.
Now, if I'm driving that bus and then I feel Jessica pull on it, like, even if it doesn't stop me, I'm like, what in the hell is wrong with...
I know, right? Like, I think one person enough would have been like, is my gas, is my brake still on? What's going on? Did I put my e-brake on? Yeah.
And like, I wonder, was there anyone sitting in the back of that bus looking at the window like, oh shit?
It's like, Sir, excuse me, sir. And then, of course, this crazy redhead woman comes and joins. It's like, I tried, whatever. Now the back tires are off the ground.
Yeah.
But one thing.
Well, go ahead.
I don't know. I just want to make a quick highlight. One quick thing I do still love about season 2 here: the emphasis that they show us on the whole detective work world.
Yeah.
Just they really dove into it a lot better this season. I feel like. And I don't know, they just really show us more of it. And I really like that. The scene was kind of like supporting that a lot more.
Yeah. They're able to stop the bus, and once everyone kind of Oscar just kind of gets on the bus and grabs his kid.
They rocked the bus.
I'm gonna move on
rock
here.
The bus, baby. Rock the bus.
Yep. I apologize for that. So Oscar he gets his kid back, and it's just this cutesy moment.
Yeah.
And the baby mom, she's there, and she pleads her case, whatever. I really didn't care.
Yeah, at this point they were trying to make her look more human, and it's like,
right.
Whatever. You already made yourself out to be one of the antagonists of the show.
Basically, yeah. So, let's see. Jerry, she attempts to get healed. By what's his name? His last name is Ryback.
Ryback.
Shane Ryback is his name. And
a convict at this point.
Yeah, and it's a very interesting shot here because Jerry, she's laying down on the bed, and then she gets Shane out of jail, of course, and brings it back to the apartment. Inez told her about Shane in the first place, so they know each other somehow. And Shane, he has her lay down on the bed, and then he kind of like waves her hand over her, and he tells her just he's searching. He doesn't say what for, but I guess for the illness or what have you.
Sure.
And then at this point, Jerry starts crying, and it's really interesting because the way that it's shown, like you can't tell if she's crying because she realizes that it's not working, or because she's so happy that it is working.
I feel like at this point she really had that much faith in the idea that it was working. So I think they were tears of just joy.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, in next episode, we can definitely determine that's what it was. But right here in this episode, we don't know.
True. Yeah. That was my speculation, though, when I first saw it. Yeah.
Yeah, no. When I first saw it, just knowing the kind of person that Jerry is, I thought that maybe it could be either way.
Sure.
I don't know.
Sure. Yeah.
Let's see. Trish, she gets a job offer at this news station.
We liked you on drugs. Come with us.
But then, of course, she realizes at the very instant that she's out of her magic juice inhaler.
Which finally answered my inquiry from earlier. Yep. Like, how much is left in this daggum thing?
Right.
You can't go refill this.
Nope. Chang, he wakes up and...
Poor guy. What day is it?
It's the year 2027, sir.
What?
But no, he and Jessica have a talk, and he's like, he finally agrees, like, okay, I won't come after you, but your mom has to go to jail for what she did. She killed my friend. My friend had a family.
Which he's not wrong.
I mean, Chang actually is not wrong here. Chang actually has a point.
Yeah.
And he even says the reason he didn't send the police because he didn't want them to get hurt. Which is...
That's bullshit.
I mean, yes and no. That too.
Yeah.
That's definitely two-way street.
That's an easy cover, and that's good and just, and no one wants the police to ever get hurt. Come on, but I think he also just wanted to do it himself.
I do think that he wanted to do it himself.
He read about his other military friend, Mr. Frank Castle, and said, "You know what? I'm gonna do it like he did."
No.
Yeah.
But Jessica agrees that it's just like, okay, well, as long as you don't tell, everything that you know, and I'll agree to take my mom into jail. The mom hears that, breaks in, throws Jessica around. It really is evident that the mom is just way stronger than Jessica. Mm-hmm. And she chases Chang, and man, poor Chang, man, he's booking it, man, and I don't blame him. I would too. I know he already pissed himself, but I'd be pissing myself again if this crazy ass strong woman is chasing me down.
Yep.
But no, she snapped, man. She's just seeing red at this point, and she even beats up Jessica a little bit.
Yep.
But no, she finally goes outside, and then there's all the police there waiting. And long story short, the mom goes to jail.
Good.
Yep.
I don't know, man. I'm going to rag on this a little.
Yeah,
we can rag, pause, and then continue on, and then continue it, because it applies to later on as well. But Jessica, at this point, it was hard getting behind her for these last few episodes, because
I agree.
She was just, honestly, she wasn't hardcore Jessica like we got in season 1 or in Defenders. She was so emotionally off balance that she became this this placater. She became the mediator who was trying to make everybody happy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, Mom, I won't take you to jail. Oh, I'll protect your boy toy. Oh, wait, no, I'll take her to jail to make you over there happy. And it's like, no one is getting a happy ending here, people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, I understand it, but I don't like it.
Exactly.
You know,
Like, it's understandable,
right.
but you're just like... I mean,
Because
you're
at this
procrastinating
point,
here.
at this point, like, our main protagonist like a different character. It's not quite the
Exactly.
main protagonist that we're accustomed to.
Like, if anyone else from the superhero, the Defenders Marvel Netflix realm was here, there would have been, like, 4 less episodes.
Yeah.
You know? If Frank Castle was here, she'd be freaking dead.
It's going to be interesting because there's a rumor going around that for season 3 of Daredevil, it's going to focus a lot on his mother and that she's actually alive in the nunnery.
Okay. I hope that's not a repeat, like tone-wise of what we're getting here.
Right. Yeah. I guess, though, I'm wondering, like, if the shoe was on the other foot or on Daredevil's foot, how he would handle the situation. But
well, I mean, it sounds like his mom's actually a good person.
Yeah. I mean, why? Just because she's a nun? There's.
I mean, I'm just guesstimating here, but yes.
You know how many dirtbag nuns are out there?
Oh, I'm
no
sure.
disrespect to all the nuns out there.
I was about to say. I actually used to work with a lot of nuns with one of my old
You told
jobs.
me, yeah.
They were actually just like a room full of grandmas. It was awesome. Yeah.
But no, overall, I thought this episode, I thought it was better than episode 8. But still, overall, in episode 9, just like the overarching theme of it, though, was still just, like I said, it's still a little eye rolling. And it's like, I was really glad at the end when the mom got taken to jail. Truthfully, I was hoping that she was going to go down in a blaze of glory right here. And that we were going to get something else for the finale of the season.
Like a huge, explosive, awesome, epic moment.
Yeah, something that you just don't see coming. But no, the mom,
no.
she goes to jail.
And this is why the story at this point really just feels dragged on.
Yeah, it does.
So let's quickly rip 10 apart. Let's just do it.
So episode 10, Jerry and Jessica, they visit the mom in prison. And, they have the whole talk. And, the mom, she's in prison and she's surviving this and that. She's in prison. They're just establishing that. And then there's the plea bargain that Jerry is trying to give to the mom. Like, if you give us all the information you have on Carl Malice, then you won't go to the raft, but you'll stay here. You'll be comfortable. You'll be here for the rest of your life, but you'll be comfortable. And the raft, you'll be in solitary confinement for 23 hours of the day. So, I mean, if I were in the mom situation, then I'd probably take the plea bargain.
But Stockholm Syndrome.
Yep, that Stockholm Syndrome is still kicking in. She's like, no, that's my boo thing. I won't give him up. And
verbatim.
Yep, verbatim. But Trish, she bombs the interview, man. That she just
hard. She bombed it worse than a freshman in a broadcasting class.
Oh man, it was bad. It was
oof.
Yeah, it was really bad.
Yeah,
and damn, it kind of sucks that because this is kind of the end that we get from this result. So the end result is basically like the moral of the story is, unless you have drugs, kid, you can't perform to the highest of your abilities.
I have faith that if she never got involved with it, she would have passed the interview with sailing colors. But
would she have been called for the interview had she never been on the drug?
Exactly. Yeah. No, she would have had to actually had the Lady Stones to do what she did on air without the drugs giving her false courage.
Right.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
Let's see. Jessica, she tells Malcolm and Trish about the killer. They finally meet her at her apartment, and because I guess at this point they probably seen on the news that this psycho killer monster has been arrested, and so they all come in and have a talk. And man, kudos to Malcolm, man, for standing up and putting his balls on the table.
I know, right?
Not literally, but. But for just being like, look, I'm sick of your shit and I'm sick of your shit.
Yeah.
Just like calling them both out,
yeah.
And being like, because I mean, I don't blame Malcolm at all for his reaction here, for being like, okay, look, like I said, you need to get your shit together and you need to tell her about the shit that you're on. And then he just kind of storms out. It's like, just call me if you need something.
Yep.
And like he's. He's not having it, and I don't blame him, man, because Malcolm's been through a lot, and he's proved in this season here that he's not just a punching bag PI, but he is a strong character that can stand on his own, that can make his own decisions, and can function on his own. He does have a big heart, though, and sometimes that gets him into more trouble than not.
Yep. He definitely has surpassed your average sidekick. And he's no longer even classified as a sidekick. He's just Malcolm, the standalone. Yeah.
Man, I really wish that Foggy had a development like this.
Yeah, for real.
Because ultimately, man, Foggy's just the guy that bitches at Matt. That's what Foggy's job is.
Yeah. Him and, oh my gosh, freaking Sam.
Oh,
yeah. That, like, I liked Sam the least of all the support characters.
Yeah.
Of all Marvel Netflix support characters, but
I guess Sam he wasn't the support character for our main protagonist in that show, but
that too. But it's more just like the way that I don't know if that was the actor's choice or the producer's choice, but the way that the character came off in general. Just shut up. Let's get back to. Let's get back to her. Let's get back to Frank. Let's get back to anyone else literally except you, please.
Right.
Yeah. Like, he was the one thing I didn't like about The Punisher. Yeah. But yeah.
But no, kudos to Malcolm, though, for standing up for himself. Let's see here. Alyssa, she does this really cool thing where she secretly tells Jessica where she can find Carl Malice. And it's when they're in the prison, of course, and Jessica, she's visiting her mom, but all the guards are there watching, and the mom or Alyssa tells Jessica about the time that they were on vacation by the beach, and they had this sleazy motel, and how her brother wanted like the Tiki Torch room, but Jessica wanted, I guess, like the Hawaiian Paradise room or something like that.
Yeah, something weird.
And it was all coded for Jessica, or for Alyssa to tell Jessica where Dr. Malice is at, and it was really cool how that was done.
Yeah,
I thought that was pretty cool there. So, I mean, and at this point though, as cool as that was, I still think that it's stupid that Jessica agreed to help this doctor.
Exactly.
This madman scientist. I mean, it's almost like a sign of desperation from Jessica at this point.
Again, she's just trying to play everybody, trying to get her mom happy, trying to get Trish happy, trying to get literally everybody happy, trying to get somewhat of a good ending here. And I'm thinking about it out loud, maybe she was subconsciously, or maybe on a deeper level, according to the writers here, trying to portray herself as an adequate hero. Because that's what people have been calling her since episode 1 of the season.
Right.
Maybe she's still trying to live up to that. Who knows? Maybe that's me coloring in between the panels again. Yeah. But it just comes off as, okay, what's your order? Okay. With an extra side of empathy? Okay, no problem. Okay, we'll try to make you happy. Oh, I need to fill your order, which contradicts the first.
Right.
Whatever.
Yeah, that's how it comes off, though.
Not my burger.
Let's see. So up next, Alyssa, she almost kills this douchebag of a guard, Dale Holiday. He's like her personal prison guard, but he's got like a big ass chip on his shoulder.
Yeah,
trying to make her eat her protein.
Yeah, which is weird.
I mean, like, here's the thing about him and about this entire arc surrounding Dale Holiday, this prison guard officer. As intriguing as it ends, the purpose of this, there really was no purpose for this.
I was waiting for you to finish that. Like, there was a purpose?
No.
Yeah, okay.
There really wasn't. Like, he was an asshole just because the writer said, well, let's put an asshole here.
Exactly. Let's put someone we know we can get everyone to hate.
Right.
Yeah. Which, I mean, he was a fun asshole, but you're right. Like, there was no purpose. Like, if we started off kind of like reordering some things and getting him more involved, then sure, I could have seen something better for an outcome.
Right.
But yeah, no, he was a one and done.
He was, and that's kind of the problem with like all the side characters that are new to season 2.
Yeah.
But no, so the mom, she almost kills him. fortunately, she doesn't snap and she doesn't try, but she just kind of shows him that, like, look, I may be locked in this cage, but you can't control me. And
she
for
said,
for the first time in the series, I was like, yeah, go Alyssa.
Yeah, she said a really cool line here, and it was the first time I actually got behind her. And it was some really well put together dialogue, and the way she said it gave it so much power. And I was just like, "Go you!" Is that right, Downworthy? I don't know, but it's good. Yeah.
So I guess this is probably the scene where most people, for the first time, maybe got behind her. I know it was for me.
Yeah. Which at this point, I'll talk about that later. Let's go.
Jessica, she confronts Dr. Malice at the sex hotel, and
thank you for calling it what it is.
Yep. And she tells him to flee the country. I mean, that's essentially what it is. She's gonna get a passport made for him. She takes the pictures and all that.
Yeah.
And as she's about to leave, she asks Dr. Malice, how many people like me are there? How many superpowered people are there?
Which that was a convenient time for her to think about that.
Yeah. And I mean, I guess it does make sense, you know. I mean, why not?
Yeah, but then in this moment, though, you know, like that was just like, oh, well, how about that?
I mean, it could have been something that was bothering her, you know.
Sure.
And then it's at this point where he's like, he goes, "What do you mean?" And she goes, "You know, like Shane Ryback. How many people of us are out there?" He goes, "I never had a Shane Ryback. I never had anyone that healed."
Yeah.
And then at this point, it's like, well, shit.
Yep.
Trish and Alyssa, they have an interesting talk as well, because Trish, she goes in and visits the mom. The mom gets a lot of visitation.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and it's interesting here because it's almost like when they're talking here, they can kind of look into each other and just kind of know each other's dirty little secrets about how like Alyssa, maybe she really just like she wants a relationship with her daughter at any and all cost, but she also doesn't want to give up this Frankenstein-esque monster or a doctor who's performing all kinds of illegal experiments, and like she doesn't want to see the wrong in her doings, like the people that she's killed and all the wrong she's done. She doesn't want to see any of that. And then Alyssa was saying to Trish how, you know, she's really jealous of Jessica because Jessica has powers and she wants powers and you never have them.
Which we've kind of caught that vibe. It has slowly been like a growing seed since season 1 even, you know. So, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, who doesn't want powers? Shoot.
I mean, that's true, but I mean, she's really...
She was very adamant about I would really like powers.
Exactly. And it'd be one thing if Jessica went around showing off her powers, but if anything, Jessica downplays her powers.
Right. Like she didn't want them almost, you know. Like that's the way she plays it off. And you're right, Trish, and let me just add this into context here. Trish saw herself as a lesser being because she didn't have powers. And that is where it's like, whoa, okay, pump the brakes. We all like to fantasize, but come on.
Yeah, agreed. So the next thing I have here is, because I completely just didn't even mention the Oscar and Jessica scene when she's in his apartment, because I really didn't care.
Yeah.
He's just working on the passport.
Sure.
But fast forward here, Malcolm I have on here needs to work on his form. He's doing straight arm standing barbell curls.
Yeah, no, his form sucked, dude. He was like rocking and shit.
Yeah. He was rocking, his elbows at his side. Keep your elbows in front of you so that your biceps, both the lower and upper head, are fully engaged at the same all throughout the rep. But no, he didn't do that at all.
But it was good enough to spellbind Trish.
Yeah, it was. He had a pump going on.
Yeah.
And and so like him and Trish just like immediately hook up right then and there again. Just adding to that sex tally for this season.
Yeah.
There's a lot of sex going on here. But let's see here. Where was I? Yeah, so they hook up again, and the next thing we get here is that douchebag guard, Dale Holiday. He assaults Alyssa.
A bad name.
Yeah, Dale Holiday.
Dale Holiday. Like, that's such an... I don't know. It sounds made up. It sounds like it belongs in a book, you know? My name is Dale Holiday. What the hell were your parents thinking? Please continue.
Yep.
Yeah. What?
Yeah, but so Alyssa, she's in her bed sleeping, and of course she has her restraints on. And have the taser restraints always been built into that?
No. He said that he got those specially shipped in for her.
Gotcha. And yeah, he shocks the shit out of her.
Yeah.
It's like several times.
Which kind of makes sense for a psycho like him.
Yeah. Absolutely. And, he just kind of does the whole thing to establish control. And then just because he's an asshole. He's the asshole just to be an asshole, really.
Yeah, like, I didn't understand, like, what mental screw-up happened to create you, you know?
And I guess with Mr. Holiday here, I was wondering, like, were there any security cameras? Surely there are, but he's also probably controlling them. I guess.
Because he seems like a pretty high-ranking officer,
right?
So it's like, oh, let me in the security room here. Bleep.
Yeah.
Oh, whatever. We don't need it. I said we don't need it. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, yeah, here we go. So Oscar, he finally finishes making the passport for Malice.
Cool.
Jessica tells Jerry that Shane is a hoax, and Jerry, she's not having it. It's like she's definitely in denial.
Yeah.
She got bamboozled.
Yep.
She
bamboozled.
Yep. She got
extra zoop.
Yep. She got tricked.
Yep.
But it does suck because at this point, like, I really have grown to like Jerry a lot more.
Yeah, this season definitely added great depth to her character.
It did.
It needed to happen.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, Carrie Ann Moss she's a powerhouse of an actress. Come on, she's Trinity, but just seeing the growth of the character here has just been great. It's been phenomenal seeing how far this character can go and how much I've really grown to like this character.
Oh yeah, tragedy and all, man. She's a very Shakespearean character.
She is
for this whole series.
Yeah, like in Jessica Jones season 1 and in Iron Fist, she was always a fun character, but she was pretty one dimensional for the most part.
Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Which was a great Act 1 to establish who the hell she was, and then all of this to really just like upplay the tragedy and the development and the whole growth of this. Oh well, yeah.
Right. She goes home and she realizes that Shane and Inez has completely just ransacked her house. Like there's barely anything of value left there. They just robbed her ass.
They ran the jewels.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And at this point, she has a breakdown, and rightfully so. And you start to really sympathize with this character because she realizes at this point that not only is all her stuff gone, but more importantly, her health isn't back either.
Yep.
And so
she was not healed.
Nope.
That's not laughable, but it is.
Damn. Let's see. Trish and Malcolm, they do some detecting stuff, and they find out
detecting pillow talk.
Yep. They find Malice's hideout, or they're able to find it because they go into Trish's apartment and they use a computer to find out what Jessica has been up to. And they actually leave the computer up on the page that they were on, which that's rookie stuff.
I know, right?
Yeah. But yeah, they figure out where Dr. Malice is at, and they go to his hotel. And Trish, she knocks out Malcolm and she puts him in the trunk. And
okay, when that happened, it was very just like jarring. Like,
it was.
Oh, wow, that gave me whiplash in the neck.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm like, Malcolm's gonna just freaking hate you from here on out.
Like, why the hell did you give me drugs? Oh, let's have sex. Wait, what the? You knocked me out? You know? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
whatever.
Anyways, Jessica, she investigates Officer Dale Holiday's home. She's looking around because she realizes that her mom is being mistreated by this officer. Mm-hmm. She sees like the marks on her mom's hand, and so she goes and she investigates this officer's house to see what's happening here. And she realizes that there have been 4 quote unquote suicides under his watch. And so she's going through his home and she finds a trophy head and she goes into the back of that trophy head and pulls out like 4 of like inmate tags.
The number tags for the jumpsuits.
Yeah, and then of course she realizes that of course these people weren't suicided; they were homicided.
They were homicided. Murdered? No,
homicided.
Yep, that's a new Law and Order term.
And it's at this point. At this point where Officer Dale, he comes home and he, first of all, he maces her like he pulled that shit from his purse.
I know, right? So let's look at the course of actions here. Jessica Jones tails him, sees his home. He gets a gym bag together, right? Okay. So observation 1. He goes away with bag in hand, right? He's in like workout clothes. He's got the bag. So you think he's going to work out, presumably, assuming even, okay? She sneaks in, does her shit, realizes, wow, this dude liked to hunt, blah, 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 and then he finds all the trophies. Oh, there's the number tags. And then he's back already. Like, did you forget your membership card or something? I don't know. Like, I'm trying to think, like, why the hell would he go with the gym bag and then come back so quickly? That was just kind of like a convenience that you roped into your story there, you know?
I mean, you're probably right. I actually didn't notice any of that.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
never mind.
Yeah. As far as I knew, he had been gone all day. Like, I didn't know that he had just recently left.
Yeah. Yeah, but... No, and then, of course, we lead into... Honestly, one of my preferred episodes.
Before we move on to episode 11, though.
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah.
So, he beats the shit out of Jessica, and then Jessica, she wrestles the club from him. And by wrestle, I mean she just takes it from him.
Yep.
And then she hits him one time across the noggin, and it kills him. Kills him dead.
Super dead.
Yeah, and I thought that was a great ending to this episode, with Officer Asshole being dead.
Yep.
What'd you think of episode 10 overall, though?
Like I said earlier, man, it still plays to this episode again. I just kind of had to grit my teeth and bear through it, you know? It was a few eye-rolling moments. It was a few, okay, let's press it on here. And you brought up a great point earlier where it's like, why the hell are we worrying about Officer Dickbag? Why is he a part of this season? You know? It was... Yeah.
Right. He was introduced for this purpose right here.
Yeah.
Just like Griffin was introduced just so Trish could look at herself and see that she wants her life to change.
That's true. I mean, both
just
of
like
these
how,
characters...
I mean, it's the same thing with all the new characters. Also Ching and also Oscar. Oscar has the most development or the most potential of all the new characters for this season.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. It seems like he's here to stay for even a little bit longer.
Maybe so.
Yeah.
But no, I thought that episode 10 as a self-contained episode, I thought wasn't a bad episode. But when you link it to the overarching plot of the season, then it really doesn't do anything to move it forward that much.
No. I will say, though, episode 11 was the shit. That was a good episode for me. That they finally took the knob, turned it up some, and then said, let's take this vehicle and go in a different direction. And that is where it's like, oh, you have my intrigue again.
Right.
Cool.
Well, let's move on here. So episode 11 opens up with Jessica. She's freaking out, rightfully so. She just killed another man.
Number 3.
Yep.
Hence the name of the episode.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Let's see. Who was the second one?
Kilgrave.
Who was the first?
That was the nurse. Luke Cage's wife.
I never counted that one.
I mean, she does because of her emotional past.
Yeah.
We as an audience are more like, well, that wasn't you. That was Kilgrave using you, you know?
Yeah.
But to her, it's still her hands.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Probably because she saw herself doing it,
I
you know?
guess so.
Yeah, so, you know. Yeah.
But yeah, she cleans up the body and she stages it like it was a suicide. And as she drops the body from the roof, and we hear that sickening thud as the body hits the ground. What?
No, I was about to say we forgot one of the most important parts of the beginning of this episode, my friend. Guess who makes a comeback?
Oh, we're getting there.
Okay, I was just about to say, man, because that's one reason this whole direction changing happened.
It's once she drops the body from the roof that she hears someone behind her clapping, and we see a pair of hands clapping as well. And of course, it's none other than the Purple Man, is Kilgrave himself.
Yep.
Now, at first, when I saw that, because I wasn't for sure if David Tennant came back to film anything for this season, I thought that maybe they just could have been using repurposed footage from season 1. But I'm glad to see that that's not the case.
Right. I mean, honestly, the new interaction here showed you how much he impacted her life. And it, of course, was entirely in a negative way, but he did so in such a damn way that when her mind goes to shit, he is the personage that comes out. He is the conscious. He's the bad Jiminy Cricket.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was, I think he was definitely my favorite part of this episode for sure.
I mean, voicing her thoughts, that's just awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, he was great all throughout this episode. Let's see. Of course, people, he's not really there. It's a hallucination. I know you guys aren't stupid. Just had to say it.
Right, yeah.
Let's see. So
actually, I think I said it too. So there you go. Double warning.
Yep. So Jessica, she's having like a really hard mental breakdown here. She can't keep it together with the fact that she killed somebody, and also Kilgrave is there just taunting her. He's kind of there. The next thing we get here is Malice. He's missing from his apartment, from his sex motel, because Jessica goes over there to give him back his passport. Of course, he's not there, and Kilgrave is still taunting her all throughout. Must be really hard for her to do her job.
I know, right? But here's the thing. Here's the catch, people. You have to realize that, yeah, this is the personage of Kilgrave taunting her, but these are her thoughts. He is her hallucination.
Right.
So these are all just the negative thoughts that are coming to surface because of Jessica's really loose footing right now, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
And it was great.
It was
good. Yeah.
But you also wonder, and this is just me, I know that this isn't the case, especially with this being such a grounded TV show, but you also wonder with Kilgrave's abilities, I mean, and him taking control of her, maybe it is possible that a portion of him is still alive.
You mean like a residual runoff thing?
And it reminds me a lot, actually, because this entire episode reminded me of Batman Arkham Knight. When, of course, the whole time Batman is trying to stop the ploy of the Red Hood, but the entire time he's having this internal struggle because he's seeing the Joker.
Which is super well done.
Yeah, it was really well done, yeah. It's kind of the same concept here. But it's a really fun thing, though. Really, really cool concept.
Season 3, Jessica Jones becomes Purple Jessica.
Purple Woman. Malice is missing from the apartment. So Jessica obviously cannot give him the passport for him to flee the country. And so now her job is to figure out where the hell he's at. But of course she needs to figure out where he's at. Trish, she goes and visits her mom in prison, and they have a talk secretly about the death because the mom figures out that Dale is dead because she has a new prison guard.
How'd your date go last night?
Yeah.
Yeah, that weird ass conversation.
Right, yeah. I mean, but I guess, you gotta do what you gotta do to get the point across.
Yeah, for sure, for the episode, it definitely worked, Yeah.
This isn't the first time they had a coded conversation either.
Oh, yeah. It was good.
Yeah. As they're leaving, Kilgrave is singing that stupid ass Cray Cray song.
Of course, yeah.
So I guess in a sense, Jessica has this song stuck in her head. I guess she's probably thinking, on a super subconscious level, she had to have thought, what would Kilgrave do to piss me off the most in this moment?
I want your cray cray, yeah.
Oh, man. But no, it was great, though. What'd you think when you first saw him back for this episode?
I was ecstatic.
Yeah.
First off, I was a huge fan of Purple Man altogether. He's been one of my favorite villains of the Marvel Netflix series.
Yeah.
Flat out, hands down, cards down. I loved his work.
Yeah.
As short-lived as it was. So seeing him make this return, and not as full-on legitimate Purple Man doing Purple Man cool shit with David Tennant charm, no. But coming back as this just embodiment of all this negative energy that's just been boiling under the surface of Jessica's like damaged mind, you know,
Right.
who's been just through so much emotional shit and baggage, where all of a sudden this one horrible accident, in which case, yes, in my mind, she defended herself. She's cool, you know.
Yeah.
She's all right with me, but to herself, she's
Right.
just...
But she also broke into the man's home.
Well, yeah, exactly. That's where it's like, okay, now we're teetering a little bit here.
Right.
But no, I loved so much how he came back and he was playing Purple Man, but in the negative thoughts. Like, he would complete her thought process, because we get so much of this throughout Jessica Jones, where we see her acting out, and then the monologue, the narration is done by her as if she's thinking to herself. Like, we get to, quote, hear Jessica's thoughts. In these moments when all through this episode we see him tailing her and, like, appearing and disappearing and coming and going, those are scenes where he is the thought. He is voicing what she's thinking, and it's just awesomely done. And I loved it so much, and it showed so much of the layers of damage that Jessica's been suffering through, what she's doing psychologically, and whether the hell she's ever actually going to recover. You know, yeah. What about you?
This was a like I said, this was a really great episode, and the thing that made it so great for me was in large part due to David Tennant. You know, seeing him make this comeback here for this one episode was just it was a real treat, is what it was.
Oh yeah, his last words actually make me hopeful. Not that Jessica goes through equal or greater trauma in the future, but that we get another mental appearing or something of him in season 3.
Yeah, what's
maybe?
interesting is that we'll get there when we get there.
Sure.
But no, so where we leave off at here? Oh yeah, so Trish's stupid song is stuck in his head, so it's stuck in Jessica's head.
I know, right?
So the next thing we get here is that Trish, she's kind of helping Malice here. She, at this point, unbeknown to us, she's helping him for some reason, and Malcolm is still in the trunk.
Which, again, what the hell, people?
Right.
Yeah.
So she's working with Malice now. You know, it looks like she's doing it reluctantly, but also willingly. So it's kind of interesting here what's happening. We see how, maybe you know how, but you know, when Jessica, she realizes that someone's been through her computer and she can use this to track down where the hell, you know, Malcolm and Trish are at. So she goes into Malcolm's apartment and she pulls up Malcolm's computer using Tinder. How does that help her find him?
The way they showed it, it kind of made sense, but I don't understand how that would work for his present proximization.
That's what I couldn't figure out.
That's where it's like, what?
Yeah.
So, like, she had access to the laptop to pull up Marvel Tinder, which was like teaser or something equivalent. Yeah. So it's like, wait, one, is that a computer app? Can you put that on your computer? What? Why would you want to? And then she uses that, makes this weird ass chart of, oh, he's within 3-something miles of this chick.
Right.
Which I guess that does make sense then, because it's like, if you can use the computer to just pull up data of the phone and not use the computer to actually engage with the app, saying like, oh, this person is within 3.5 miles of this laptop.
Okay, so the computer showed that Malcolm was
within 3.5 miles of this chick, of where he is at with the phone.
But doesn't make any sense that if it's a computer app, wouldn't it show how close the computer is to...
Exactly. Like, logically, that's what should happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, the chicks would see, oh, this girl's within 2 miles of this laptop where I am at, not where Malcolm's phone is at.
And also, Jessica said that Malcolm's phone was in, like, what's that mode called where it can be tracked? Oh. No, I forget what she said. Like, even if your phone... I mean, the phone was off.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't off, but it was like untrackable, is what Jessica said to some extent.
Wait, really?
Yeah, she said that okay, just because you blocked your phone from being tracked doesn't mean that I can't find you. She said something to that extent.
I guess no, that could make sense. Because that doesn't mean he turned off the tracking on, like if you turn off tracking for Google Maps, that just means you can't use, like, Google directions or anything like that, sure. But that still means you can give permission to Tinder to do that shit.
Maybe so.
I'm pretty sure that's the way it works, right? Yeah.
It could. I'm just being a dead horse, yeah.
No, you're right. The dead horse deserves to be beaten.
Yeah.
A weird sentence.
It was.
Oh, man.
But Jessica, she's able to find out where Trish and Malcolm are at, and so she uses that to find them. By this point, Malcolm he breaks out of the trunk and gets himself free, and Trish pulls a gun on him.
Which, again, at this point, it further develops a problem that I have with this season, you know, and we won't talk about it yet because it really needs to come out later in a different episode here, an upcoming episode. But at this point, it's more just like, it does show, really, the deterioration that we see our girl Trish going through. Like, whoa, what the freak are you up to? You know?
She's desperate for something at this point.
And it is revealed this episode, right? Like what her intent
I think so.
is? Yeah, okay. I think so too. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's at the bottom of the page.
Yeah. I don't even know why I'm trying to not spoil it. It's not like we're not going to talk about it.
Yeah. But I just thought that this was something that it made my, like, as these episodes go on, my like of Trish goes down.
Oh, yeah. Same here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And, like, her pulling the gun, first of all, because she misuses Malcolm more than anyone in this season. And then this is just the icing on the cake. And, you know, so at this point, I'm like, oh, you know what, Malcolm? Like, I don't condone hitting women, but if you want to bitch slap her, then I will turn the other way. You know,
all right. Then Marvel Netflix is really getting into some new stuff. Yeah.
But no, but Jessica pulls up and Dr. Malice and Trish, they drive away. And
I can't remember. They were holding like a shopping bag or something.
Yeah, he was holding a shopping bag from a veterinary clinic, something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so as Trish and Malcolm are trying to think of some way to find them, Jessica is losing her shit. Mm-hmm. Jessica, she's seeing multiple purple men.
Yeah, which again was fascinating. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And she even accidentally grabs an actual person and puts him up against the wall.
She did.
Yeah, that could have gone real bad.
Oh, yeah, that dude could have been dead. He could have been number 4.
Yeah, easily. And then she would lose her shit even more.
Exactly.
And it just gets worse and worse. But no, so eventually, Malcolm's like, hey, they had a bag and they had, you know, this is the shop they had to have been at. And so they go into this veterinary clinic and they question the rude ass lady there, put her in the kennel, actually, or put her in a cage and question her. And she gives them the information that she has. And then Jessica realizes that, you know, they're not trying to, or they're trying to create powers of some sort. Somehow she's able to determine that.
Yeah, she's somehow able to say, like, oh, wait, he's finding ingredients to make the serum again. They're going to try to make more super people. Trish wants to be a super person. Yep. Yeah. So it was some piecing together.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's see. So, Jessica, she stops the experiment that Dr. Malice is performing on Trish.
Yeah, this scene's weird.
It's very, very bizarre. Yeah. To me, the most bizarre was the ending.
Oh yeah,
and how it got there.
That's what I'm talking about primarily.
Yeah. So Trish, she's so desperate for these powers, and I think that she's convinced herself that she wants these powers for the betterment of mankind. Do you buy that?
I mean, yes and no. I still think that she would use them for that, but I think in all intents and purposes, that would be the runoff. That would be the side effect. That would be the second place winner to her real intention, the first place, which is she wants superpowers because she wants them. She sees herself as a lesser being to Jessica, who is a super person, to Jessica friends who are super people, right, because she doesn't have these powers, you know?
Yeah, I think that she would find herself in the limelight again if she had something like this that made her stand out. She would find a way to use it to escalate her to, the top of the celebrity charts.
Well, it's not even really that as much. That would also be a good thing, for her. But I think it was also she would.
I mean, because even the mom said that she always wanted to be unique. She always wanted to stand out.
Right. I think that was really her intention. Like, she just wanted to stand out for herself, and then like she can use it for the furtherment of the furthering or whatever the hell of her career, of her ratings and all that shit, whatever. But I think really I think she just selfishly wanted powers just so that she could say she was a cool, different super being, Yeah.
But yeah, Jessica, she stops the experiment from taking place fully. But Trish is like in a comatose state right now.
Yeah, like the drugs were still in her system.
Dr. Malice says something to the extent of, I guess he figures that the experiment failed. I don't know. But his whole deal was, tell Alyssa that I love her, blah, blah, blah.
Like he had a total mind change.
Yeah.
Like a complete 180 flop.
Right. It's like, so you don't want to continue to live to try your experiments even. Like you feel that, I don't know what you feel right now.
It was something Jessica did in the moment. It was like is this your glory? Is this what you're doing? Is this what you're about? You change lives to try to create supers by doing these torturous things. It was something strange. Like, I don't know. It was really like you change your entire character in 10 seconds.
Right.
Yeah.
And so like when he, blows up the entire place, so to speak, like it really didn't. I was like, huh? Okay.
Yeah, no, at this point it played out like a really bad action movie. Like,
right.
Oh, okay.
Dr. Malice's character overall, I never really quite figured out because it's like they didn't want to make him a bad guy, but they didn't want to make him a good guy. But he didn't quite have the depth for us to see who he really was.
Okay, you know what? F it. I'm going to go ahead and ask my question now. I've been jarring to ask you this since Jessica Jones Night 1, okay? Who the hell is the real bad guy here? In this entire show. Let's just break it down now. Skip straight past episode 13. Talk about it now, please. Who is the real antagonist?
This is something that I actually like about season 2. Was that they were bold enough to not really have an antagonist.
Thank you. I wanted us to flesh that out. I wanted us to say it.
Yeah.
There isn't a true one at all.
No, they have characters that have like shades of gray. Because, I mean, you can say that Alyssa's the bad guy because she's murdering people. That's definitely a candidate. You can say that is Dr. Malice because he's performing these, morally corrupt experiments on people. But he also says that he does it from a place of goodness, which could be the case.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, to me, the problem isn't a lack of antagonists; it's a lack of focus.
Yeah, that's kind of overall the arching thing I was talking about there too. I mean, there's no true antagonist, which is bold and brave, which is cool, but it's the idea that there's no antagonist, but then your hero is trying to make everybody happy. Even the people who are playing antagonistic-esque roles, like Trish, like Alyssa, like frickin' Dr. Dickhead, Yeah.
Let's see here, because we're actually not done with the episode yet. I forgot that wasn't the end.
No, we're not. I just,
well, let's see.
I broke order.
It's all good. Yeah, so Dr. Malice kills himself via explosion,
because reasons.
Yeah, because reasons. Trish is now in the hospital. Jessica and Malcolm have like one final talk. Jessica fires Malcolm, but this time it seems like for realsies. And Malcolm says, well, in case you change your mind, I quit. And I was like, I don't blame you, Malcolm.
That was actually a well done scene.
It was.
Yeah, just because of the fun chemistry they had earlier. Like, you're fired. All right, I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I really don't blame Malcolm at all here. So Jessica, she realizes that she's because before we get to this point here, so she's like alone at this point now, just alone with her thoughts, aka Kilgrave.
Yep.
And essentially, she realizes through her own thought patterns that, in a way, she is more powerful than Kilgrave, and that, I guess that kind of gives her, that removes the mental block that she was having on herself, and
kind of helped bring her to peace a little more.
It did, yeah. And then Kilgrave does something interesting. He looks at her and he says something along the lines of, "I'll
be here when you need
I'll
me
be here
again."
when you need me." Yeah, and I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, that was the line he said where I'm kind of hopeful, where it's like, maybe there'll be a weird callback to him again. Right. Who knows? Yeah.
I mean, because the way he said it, it wasn't like curses. I have to go. Yeah,
it wasn't done like a bad kids cartoon. It was more like a
yeah,
take it easy, tip of the hat to you.
Right.
Yeah, like okay, cool.
Yeah.
Which, again, applause.
Right.
Yeah.
And then of course they're playing on the news about this big ass explosion, and that Dr. Carl Malice was in there, and that Trish has something to do with it, but the details are unclear. Alyssa, she sees this from her jail cell, and she Incredible Hulks the fuck out.
Yep. Goes ape shit.
Goes ape shit. Do you think she killed that guard, or just knocked the guard out? Because she threw the guard up against the wall, and she hit.
Let's just say the guard's knocked out.
Yeah.
Sure.
And yeah, she breaks free. She breaks out of jail. Here's the thing here is that I feel like this episode would have been a good penultimate episode. But there's still two more. Like
we still have a whole episode, and then the last episode is the closure.
Yeah, I feel like this episode could have been the penultimate, and the next episode could have been the finale.
So let's cover these two quickly.
We're already 2 hours and 10 minutes deep here.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much else to talk about with these.
Yeah, so essentially Trish, she's in bad shape. Alyssa she's wandering in Manhattan, lost and confused. Jessica and the detectives, they discuss the whereabouts of where Alyssa could be. Jessica, she tries to protect Trish because Alyssa shows up at the same time that Jessica does to attack Trish. Jessica's able to defend Trish off, but she being Alyssa is able to get a hold of one of the detectives, and she jumps out of a window and kills the other detective in the process.
Yep.
And Alyssa gets away though. And so of course the other detective, the one that we've been more associated with, he's pissed for good reason.
Yeah.
Let's see. So Trish, she tells Jessica that she needs to put Alyssa down. And I don't disagree with Trish. I think that
the only one who does is Jessica.
Yeah, the only one who disagrees is Jessica. Literally, everyone else is on the team of you know what you got to do.
Yeah, I mean,
because like you said,
your mom's being a dick.
Right, there is no happy ending here in this situation. Your mom's being selfish. Your mom, Jessica, and the mom are being selfish at this point.
The mom was using Jessica, to a degree.
Mm-hmm. It's like and it's almost like the mom didn't even realize it. And I'm like, how are you not seeing what you're doing here? But yes, let's see. Trish tells her to put Alyssa down. We see Turk again.
Yeah, Turk. I'm always happy seeing Turk.
Always good to see Turk. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would be so upset if and when Turk ever dies.
I know, right? That's a staple. Like him and Rosario, man.
Exactly. I mean, those two hold all the shows connected.
I know, right? They are the roadways, the lines between. Oh man!
But we get some really good Jerry stuff in this episode here.
Mm-hmm.
So he
that deserves attention.
Oh yeah. So he gives Jerry a gun. Like it must be like an unmarked gun, like one without the serial code on it.
Yeah.
Jerry also goes to a pawn shop. She drops $30,000 to get some of her stuff back and information on the people that sold her the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then from here, Jerry, she's able to find Inez and Shane. They're at their home. And we get a really, really fun scene here.
Yeah. This was awesome. The Jerry comeback.
Yeah. So, let's see where we're at here. Oh, we may not be there quite yet, actually.
Well, let's just talk about it.
Maybe episode 13. Yeah. But yeah, no, we'll go ahead and talk about it since, this is pretty much the end of Jerry's. It's going to be the end of Jerry's arc for this. Well, kind of, essentially. But so she's sitting outside of Shane and Inez's place, and she waits for Inez to come back home. Her and Inez have a talk in the car, and essentially she convinces Inez that, look, Shane, he used me and he used you. You're not the only one in his life. You see this file in my back seat? These are all copies of letters that he wrote while he was in prison to multiple people.
Dun, dun,
and they most just gave him gifts, mostly money. And she's so damn convincing. I was buying it, and most importantly, Inez was buying it too.
Yep.
And then the real twist was the gun. Jerry gives Inez the gun and says, "You're gonna need this for your protection. How long do you think that he's gonna keep you around? Because he's been saving up money for this nest egg that he has. He's not gonna need you for much longer. But if and when he snaps, you're gonna need some protection."
Which is incredibly smooth of Jerry.
Oh my!
I don't condone murder, but damn.
That shit was sly.
That was super sly.
She waits outside of the apartment, and of course the two have an argument because Inez is all up in arms in Shane's face. Things get heated. There's a gunshot.
Yeah, we get to see most of it through the window, just the body language alone. And then we hear the doom.
And then Jerry just smiles and drives off. And then she calls 911. It's so savage. So savage.
Excuse me, officer, there's been a gunshot on this street at this location.
Yeah.
Click. Done. Like, at that point, someone make a Facebook video of this scene and then crop in the shades for the gangsta moment right here, because Jerry deserves it.
I mean, that shit was like a hand clapping moment.
Yeah.
Like you deserve this applause.
The caption, you don't screw with the best lawyer in town.
No.
Like, you don't think you can do this and get away with it.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like that whole ploy was so well done. Like, you don't fuck with Jerry Hogarth. That's the thing.
Exactly.
That should have been the name of that episode.
AKA don't fuck with me.
Yeah. Oh man, but that's
why do they call every episode AKA? What's the deal with that? Do we know? It's not AKA like, hey, I'm talking about this with you. AKA,
yeah. I think that it actually reckons back to the graphic novel run that Brian Michael Bendis had. It was called Alias. Because at this point she was a retired superhero,
right?
And so she would go by her superhero name, which I think was Jewel, and then she'd be like AKA Jessica Jones. I think that's where it beckons to.
Thank you. Okay. Cool. Anyways,
yep. But yeah, so just to wrap up episode 12 here, Alyssa, she agrees to meet at Trish's apartment. Jess is there, and she threatens to shoot Alyssa, but of course she doesn't. Alyssa knocks out Jess and kidnaps her. And then at this point, episode 13, honestly, Jessica, she develops Stockholm Syndrome.
I was just about to say that. She did. She became her mother.
She really did.
Oh my gosh. That's some bullshit.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and finish this up here, episode 13.
This is actually a good one. It's weird as hell, but it's well done.
It's very, very bizarre, yeah. I still feel like episode 12 and 13 could have been combined.
Oh, no, they should have been.
Yeah.
There's no reason for it to be separate, but...
Yeah. So let's see. Just rummaging through the bullshit.
Please do.
There's so much.
Can we just skip to the end where Jessica has been tailing with her mom? There's some weird ass shit that they do together, and then all of a sudden they end up on the Ferris wheel. Can we just go to that point and then press on? Is there anything else I'm forgetting that's pertinent?
Yes, there is.
There is? Okay, let's do that. What's that?
Yeah, so we need to wrap up Jerry's arc here.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Oh, and of course Malcolm.
Yep.
Yeah, his part too. Yep.
So the way that their arc ends, because they're all kind of intertwined, is that Malcolm, he gives himself a haircut, gets a snazzy suit, and he realizes that he has a he has an appointment with Linda Chow. She's one of the business partners at the law firm that Jerry works at, kind of. And he goes in, and essentially he's able to blackmail her too, because he has the information that the other partner gave him from a previous episode.
Yep. I think he actually acted as a potential investor or something in the shady line of that lawyer's work. So, again, Malcolm, bravo.
Yeah. And he brings this to Jerry, and he tells her, look, I have this for you here, and I think that maybe this could convince you that I'm a good fit here for you, to work for you. And at this point, Jerry's yoga instructor is leaving, and I'm like, I like your taste, Jerry. But anyways, Jerry, she takes this the information that she receives from Malcolm. She goes into the law firm and she meets with the other two partners, and they're not having any conversation. They're like, "Are you ready to sign or not, Jerry?" And she goes, "Yes, I am ready to sign." And they're like, "Okay, well, good. We'll drop the check." And she goes, "But add 2 extra zeros to it." And they're like, "You got to be kidding us." And she spills.
And I'm taking this client.
I'm taking this client. Yeah. And then she puts her cards on the table. She lays them out for them all to see, and they fold. They don't have anything on
exactly. Yeah.
And so, like in a ballsy, badass move, Jerry she wins. Jerry wins, and I think that her arc ends the best that it can. Like, she's managing her illness. You see all the pills and medications that she's taking. She's doing yoga. She's doing everything she can to manage the illness. And then also she has her confidence back on top of that.
She's coming out good.
She is. She doesn't hire Malcolm, but she writes him a fat ass check. We don't know how much, but I'm sure that it was.
Oh yeah, no. He was resilient. He was holds a piece of paper. Okay. Yeah. Like, that is a character flop I will accept.
Right.
And I thought it was also cool that she tied in the Rand family.
Yeah.
Saying, hey, and this is the client I'm stealing, by the way. Right. This is mine.
Yeah. Because, of course, we've had to see her again for whenever Iron Fist makes his return.
Yep. The second Iron Fist.
Yeah. But but just to wrap up their arc, though, the last time we see those two characters is when Malcolm and Stupid Chang show up to Jerry's apartment, and Jerry has some kind of deal for them, or some kind of a business opportunity for them that we really don't get the details in. But they all agree to work together. And that's kind of where they leave us at. And I'm curious to see what that deal is.
Yeah, me too. Especially now that we see Malcolm in such a cool place. Like, he went from being another tenant in the slumps of New York who was a druggie, now to second in command of this really cool PI agency with, top-notch lawyers and his boss on both hands. Just like, well, hell yeah, go you. We all need a haircut and a fancy suit.
Yeah. They get to make Chang a more interesting character, I hope, in the future.
Just because of Malcolm.
But yeah, so let's wrap up here with the Ferris wheel. So yeah, Alyssa and Jessica go to the Ferris wheel. Jessica, she's ready to to leave, to keep moving forward. But Alyssa, she flips on the lights for the Ferris wheel and so that it's functioning. And they both get on the Ferris wheel, and they just reliving a childhood memory is what Alyssa wants to do right now. She wants the cops to come, but she wants to live out this last moment. Because there was a previous episode, I think maybe episode 7, where she tells Jessica about the time that they were on the Ferris wheel.
Yeah, it was a throwback.
Yeah. And but they're having this conversation, mid-talk. Kapow.
I did not expect that, no lie. I had to pause, go back, and be like, what the shit happened? Because I happened to have looked up from that point. I was like getting another snack or something, I don't know. But then all of a sudden I hear it and I'm like, wait, pause. What?
Yeah.
What? It was really surprising.
Yeah, I was just, I was listening to the conversation, and trying to figure out what the mom was really trying to convey here. And I'm glad that she finally snapped out of it and realizes that what she's doing is wrong and stupid,
right,
and selfish of her. And then, boom.
Yeah. And it was like there was no ultimatum fight. There was no throwdown. There was no Jessica finding more strength and overcoming the stronger. It was just done in an instant.
Yeah. It was a very interesting and creative choice.
It was. This whole series had a huge variety of interesting creative choices that aren't typically done, that really challenge us as, critics, really, of something like this, because it's a change from the norm. So it's like, well, how do we take it in? Was it a good change? Was it a bad change?
Right.
And it varies, in my honest opinion.
Does,
there's good and bad changes here.
Right.
So...
But yeah. So I mean, her and Trish have like a serious falling out. Her and Malcolm have a falling out.
Actually, I mean, the reason for the ultimate falling out here, because Trish was the one who pulled the trigger. Yeah, she did like the most perfect shot in Trish's life.
Right.
On that
but
Ferris wheel.
It makes sense once we see Trish's last scene.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, so the last scene we get with Trish and Jessica is that, I guess it's been some time later, and Trish is trying to apologize. She's at Jessica's apartment. Jessica's not having it.
That sisterhood is broken.
It's broken.
There's no more traveling pants between the two.
Trish goes to leave. As she gets in the elevator, she drops her phone, but she catches it with her foot. She realizes that she has cat-like reflexes.
Yeah.
Yep. And also earlier when she was in the hospital, the nurse said, "Ma'am, I think you used up 2 of your 9 lives."
I didn't catch that one.
Yeah,
I just rolled my eyes. Shit. What's her superhero counterpart name? Her inevitable one?
Hellcat.
Thank you.
Yep. And and kudos to you, Kevin, for keeping a good poker face, because remember it was during the recording for the last Jessica Jones episode.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I said something along the lines of, "I wonder if we'll see Hellcat sometime," and you.
I did not give.
Yeah, you didn't give.
Thank you.
Give. Usually, I think I can read you pretty good, but you didn't give me anything.
Well,
and also, I didn't want to look for anything, but yeah, you didn't.
Yeah. No, I'd like to think I still throw a surprise or two in there. I try to keep my friends on their feet. All right.
Yeah. But it ends with Jessica having dinner with Oscar and the kid, telling them about the robber she stopped.
I was happy about that. Oscar kind of felt like a weaker character, but this ending itself was great for Jessica.
Yeah.
That was my mindset. She needed this just on a psychological level.
Yeah, she does. Yeah. She needs something to ground her, something that she can, that can help her mental stability and emotional stability.
Next season, I want Oscar to meet Luke Cage and just have like that instant, "Who the hell do you think you are?" moment. Yeah.
The thing that I guess that doesn't really bother me, but I guess maybe concerns me, is that, do you think that they're ever going to really do the Luke and Jessica romance?
It's inevitable.
I hope so. I hope so.
No, I mean, I would gamble on that, and I would lose money if they didn't do it, because I would be that confident that it just has to happen. I mean, it's a really important part of both of the characters in the comics, and it's like, you're going to try to ignore this? Okay, sure.
It just seems like they're going out of the way, though, to go the other direction.
Which is okay.
With Luke, hooking up with...
Rosario.
Yeah, Rosario, the night nurse.
Oh, yeah, no, that's her real name. What's the night nurse's actual name? Because her name's Rosario Dawson, the actress.
Yeah, the actress. But,
we know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then now with Jessica having this thing with Oscar, it's like, how do we get there if we keep putting these relationships in the way? But
just gives them more fuel to have like Luke Cage 4 and like Jessica Jones 5.
Shit,
I know, right?
It's a long time.
Jessica Jones 5. David Tennant just comes out on camera. "I'm tired of making appearances. Leave me alone."
Yeah. What you think of this season as a whole, Kevin?
Not my favorite. There were some great moments, and it was very artistic. And honestly, there were a few things that they did just on a red tape level that were really interesting. For instance, every episode was directed and put together by females.
That's true.
Yeah. Like, different females were on each episode, and it's like, oh, that's really creative. That's kind of cool. Very cool, proactive moment there. But overall, just story arc-wise and, like, character-wise, really good things happen for a lot of these side support characters, and I'm all about that. Hell yeah, develop it. Give us some Hellcat. Give us some badass Malcolm. Give us some, potentially good Oscar. We'll see what he does in the future here. The hell with the rest of them, whatever the hell. But your story is like, where were you going with this? We played pinball a little bit here. Yeah.
Right. There was a moment where it seemed like they didn't really know what they wanted to do with their story, particularly after Dr. Malice died and Jessica was trying to help her mom.
Yeah.
At that point, I was like, what are we doing here? Where are we going?
And to be honest, it was annoying seeing Jessica flip-flop so much. I can understand the deeper symbolism of her becoming her mother through the joke we've been making all night, the Stockholm Syndrome, through her developing the same weird ideals that her mom had, in a sense, just in the short time that she kind of reconnected / met her mom.
Right.
But, I mean, it still played off weird.
Yeah.
It made the story weaker.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree. I do like the creative decision they decided to make with this show as a whole, with them going a different route versus having like your typical antagonist.
Right.
Having this more fully fleshed out type scenario for your art.
An obvious antagonist with their own objective. No. Instead, we get a bunch of different problems all circulating around the same story.
Yeah.
And it's well done. It's cool.
Most of our familiar side characters get really good growth, and they get really good stuff to do in this season. The new side characters, not so much.
Not really.
I mean, so
Griffin got blown up by a missile.
I wish. But yeah, overall though, I thought that this was still a really good season. I was really surprised by a lot of things they did. And I was really impressed with a lot of the bold choices they decided to make with the direction of this season. I can't properly score season 1 because it's been so long since I've seen it. But if I had to, I think that season 1 is probably around a 9.0 for me.
Oh yeah,
because
that was
season
just
1
great.
was that good.
I mean, I've gone back and rewatched it willingly.
Yeah. Season 2, I'll give it a 7.8 out of 10. I give it that because it does a lot of things really, really well. And unfortunately, some of the creative decisions just fall flat, maybe because these decisions are so rarely used that there's just not a lot of material to go off of on it. But,
Yeah, no, it was not my favorite season. But I don't really want to like compare it to the others either. My brain was trying to go there just to explain my thought process. But no, I was thinking a similar score. I was going 7, maybe 7.5. Yeah, overall.
Yeah, but that is our review of Jessica Jones season 2. Hope you guys enjoyed it.
7 episodes in one night.
Yeah.
Ooh-wee. So if we missed any of your favorite scenes, I mean, we had a lot to cover, so please understand that. Yeah.
But yeah, for
Definitely.
sure. Let us know, guys, if there's anything that you guys wanted us to cover that we didn't.
For sure.
We'd be glad to touch up on that, like any kind of emails, questions that you guys have. This Wednesday, we will be covering Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Yeah.
And then by then we'll hit you up with the topic for next Sunday, let you guys know what we'll be doing then. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and wrap this thing up, guys. It's been a pretty lengthy podcast here, but it's been a good one overall, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
Keep
it easy.
Guys, oh, yeah. As always, if you guys have any kind of questions, comments, gifts, threats, food, supplies, then hit us up at superherohomes@gmail.com or the Facebook page Superhero Homies. And also feel free to leave us a review on iTunes.
Yep.
Helps us out.
And again, please go out, tell some friends, let them know about the podcast. We'd love it.
Yeah, tell your friends.
Tell them all.
Tell them to hit that subscribe button. Yeah. But all right, guys, we do appreciate it. And as always, I'm Quentin.
I'm Kevin.
See you next time.